show before the show stuff. We're drinking liquid marijuanas and
Margaritas.
Terramana and margaritas, and I got a Diet Coke up here and the usual vape. Tammy was willing to bring a whole bunch of liquor for us, so we needed that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
After the
Our
Publix trip.
livers rejoiced.
Our what?
Our
Livers.
Livers?
I'm kidding. Our livers aren't
You can all
pleased,
take Mac
probably.
tonight before
It's
you go to
okay.
bed.
I got plenty of milk.
I got milk thistle. It
We'll
is
be
what it is.
fine.
I'll pay for that high dollar Revive MD.
Oh yeah.
Liver supplement now. I was doing their kidney supplement. I need to order more of that. But yep.
There was a brand that Joe Sullivan is not necessarily connected with, but promotes from
I think
time
it's
to
Revive
time.
MD.
Is it Revive?
I think it's really good shit. Just kind of pricey.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
It's have
So
all
it makes
the,
it-
it's have all the liver like NAC. and-
oxball and NAC and milk thistle and like everything in it. And it's like 4
Vodka.
times what you actually need. You know, it's like some extreme dose. And then their kidney support is really good too. It changed my blood work.
Hey, that's
It was good enough to see a positive improvement on my blood work. I suggest that kidney supplement to everybody, especially if they're using PEDs.
yeah,
Really fucking good. It keeps that creatinine low.
that's fair.
Mine was real high for a long time.
And that will shut your kidneys down.
Yep. And kidney health has a direct effect on heart health.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Especially antidiuretic hormone, run that heart rate all the way up. So healthy kidneys, a low heart rate, better blood pressure. Just saying. Keep that in mind.
Everything works together for a reason.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nathan talked pretty often about, I don't know if he does yet because he hasn't been on as long as me, but I feel better on TRT than I do on a performance enhancing dose.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
And
pretty
mostly
good.
because it's balanced and everything's.
Truthfully, like when I got my blood work done the first time, I think I was on 500 tests, and I was also on 200 tren, and I got my blood work done, and my testosterone was like, it's surprisingly not as high as you'd think. It was like 11 or 12 or something, but my free testosterone was like 400 or something. And they were like, "What do you take
Did
testosterone?"
they raise a brow at you?
They called me back. They called me to come into their office, and they're like, "We need to talk to you about your blood work." And I was like, "Sure, yeah. What's up?" And they're like, "Your testosterone's really high. Are you taking?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "You need to take a little less." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay.
Not gonna do that."
Okay.
But I just told him, "Yeah."
Just so you can
Doc
chart it. I
Campbell
said,
straight
okay.
up told me he'd let mine go to 2K as long as I didn't have side effects.
What's funny is like I think my testosterone with just TRT, it was like 900. So
Mine's been as high as 17 on a TRT dosage.
yeah,
But that's with me doing everything right. DHEA,
yeah.
vitamin D3, all my zinc,
I'm taking all
everything
that
I'm
stuff,
supposed to fucking take.
But I think it also may have had a effect because I was on a cut at the time. Someone's calling you.
It's probably a gym call, and that's why it's on solid.
But
As long as my husband's picture doesn't pop up there, I know he's not in distress. We're good.
But I like Dr. Campbell. He does a good job.
He's cool.
And honestly, I'm straight up with him if I'm on a performance enhancing dose.
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Hey, Doc, can I have some more Nastrozol?"
The lab values on tests for men are so vast, and it's
Mhm.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell a 35-year-old they got a normal test when it's 320. That's
right.
no.
It's like, that's
Yeah,
not
well, the
normal.
problem
no,
is-
that's normal for an 80-year-old.
I like Dr. Campbell's explanation about that is like, hey, if you feel normal and operate well at 300 or 400, that's fine. But like,
You're
if
not
you're
sleeping.
used to operating at 700 or 800 and it's 300,
Mhm.
Got
that's a
issues.
fucking problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I like that explanation.
Yeah.
Fine. And I think me and yours well under. Mine was 134 and yours was like 99
Yeah.
when we went in for
Damn,
when we first started
I'm
with.
higher than that.
I know.
That's-
But like that was
Sorry.
right after my stint with Ron, and I was a fucking pincushion the
Yep.
whole time. Fucking took a shit ton of trend on the whole time I was with Ron.
That was-
Against his better judgment and against my own too. I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna get anything done here. We're just gonna fucking send it. It's one fucking prep. Let's just do it. And then I hurt myself anyway. It doesn't fucking matter.
I fortunately had a good meet and did not hurt myself. But yeah, like that was the same situation. I came back from taking too much stuff and when I got my blood work done, they were like, "Oh man, this is pretty
I
bad."
think the awesome thing about TRT is just the consistency and never having to come off.
You don't have
It's
the
been
spikes, peaks and spikes.
It has so much effect on building long-term muscle. It's so much better.
Yeah. I
So
definitely think like most people, if you're going to do something, should be on a
Maintenance.
dose. And then when you're competing, if you choose to,
4 or 5 weeks out.
maybe 12.
And ish.
It depends.
Also, before any of this stuff goes official, because he can cut any of this stuff out, if there's any of this stuff you don't want to talk about publicly, let us know because we will avoid those questions.
I'm fine.
Okay, make sure.
I'm good.
Technically, we don't have to leave any of this in. But
Yeah, we
we've
don't have to
talked
leave any of
this
this
No,
in.
I'm good.
But that's just, transparency on our part, I think. We talk about being pin cushions all the time. I think my life's changed. For the most part, my life's changed for the better, especially since my blood work's good now. So
Yeah.
If you're staying level too, it doesn't affect your hormones as bad for mental health stuff.
Yeah.
With your brain.
fucking melts your fucking brain if it gets fucked up. I'm off all of my SSRI. Me and Nathan talk about this all the time. I'm off all my SSRIs, all of my mental health drugs because of TRT.
Yep.
So, not to say that I probably couldn't use one from time to time, especially for anxiety, but
If you can control the anxiety and you can feel it, then I would not take anything. And that's just from being in the medical field for so long.
being in progesterone changed things big time. Like, men don't think about female sex hormones helping them, but like the sleep,
Yeah.
you got to have it for your own test levels. Sex drive, everything about it is better. With progesterone's the real fucking deal.
Right.
I fucking love that shit. And I have like really high progesterone now. It's another thing. If you're not seeing side effects,
Yeah.
Dr. Campbell let it ride. So,
Well, it's the same thing with tests with women.
yeah.
Most doctors won't prescribe a woman test.
Because y'all's TRT dose is like 10 milligrams a week.
My
Like, it's-
gynecologist, I was doing everything right. Diet, exercise. I wasn't lifting yet. I was cardio queen, but I live about 15 minutes from where I worked at the time, at the doctor's office. I would have to stop on the way home because I would get so sleepy.
Yeah.
And just gather myself.
No energy.
When she finally did and she fought me on it for 2 years, I said, I don't need that. When she finally checked it, it was so low it wouldn't read.
Dang.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, we're going to fix you.
Somebody just, I just saw
Yeah,
it.
we're going to fix you.
And I won't mention her name, but I really do suggest as many people as I can going to my doctor for hormones. I just had a female client of mine start with Dr. Campbell, and it actually revealed that she has Hashimoto's. So she's on thyroid medicine now, which is going to be huge for lifting and diet and everything like that, because she's like real thin, lost a ton of weight. And it's because T3 and T4 are fucked up.
Yeah.
And then I had no idea what the actual base level was for women, and I think that normal was like 40 to 100 or something like that.
It's between...
And for us, it's like 3 to 12.
No.
It's like no normal, 300 to 1200.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like 40 to 100. I feel like it's what was on her paperwork as base level of normal. Yeah. But
she must have been symptomatic if they're medicating her for the Hashimoto's. Because my daughter has it, but she's asymptomatic. So
it doesn't matter.
they won't give her, she didn't have anything.
Yeah, I think that, well, she's had a lot of problems with migraines, a lot of problem with weight loss. And lack of appetite, stuff like that. This is a girl that since she's been with me has dropped like 2 weight classes, not by choice.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So,
yeah, she was symptomatic.
Yeah,
big time.
not by choice at all. It was all. And she's very, very prone to get sick, stuff like that. I don't know if that ties in or not, to be honest with you. But very, very, very prone to get sick. And like she honestly misses like, up until this point, has missed like half her sessions with me. So we're hoping, and she could be a really good powerlifter. When I say she's built really well, she's like, she's incredibly she's built to lift. She's incredibly athletic looking, very big back, very small waist. Like, I mean, she really does look the part. So getting some weight back on her is going to be fucking huge. But I think they do a good job at QC, man. I'd suggest that to fucking anybody.
Yeah,
like,
QC's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it may be the best in the state, because I got a couple other clients in South Alabama that go to the men's clinic in Auburn, and not as thorough. No, not as thorough at all. And it's honestly kind of a fucking scam too, because it's like hardly anything's ran through insurance. It's just like, pay us this and we'll give you this drug. And it's like, it's almost like they're just peddling PEDs. Where, like, Dr. Campbell actually wants it to be
right. He wants,
right.
He wants everything to look
everything
good.
look good.
He wants you to basically. He just wants to optimize your health. Like, that's his goal. At least that's the vibe I got from him every time I've talked to him. Which I only talked to him for the
Once
first
a year is all we get.
consultation.
Yeah.
Second one was with the lady.
Yeah, nurse practitioner. We got 2 of them, but yeah,
She wanted me to drop my dose of test, and I was like,
they dropped me to 3/4 a week,
Yeah.
and because the prescription's the same, I was just like,
yeah,
we'll just keep on that 1 mil a week for
Yeah.
a little while. What they don't know won't hurt them.
That's
And I'm
the
not gonna
thing,
lie
though.
to you. You should not do this. This is not a professional recommendation. But I will skip my shot the week of my blood work so
Yeah.
that my test reads low.
Yeah.
see, my thought was they want me to be on a half, so I'll just take a half that week.
Yeah.
And then see what it reads, because then it's like, if reading a half actually like makes it look significantly worse, and they're like, oh, you don't need to be on a half. I'm like, yeah, you're right, I don't need to be on a half. Like,
Fucking,
and if it looks good and they want to keep me there, then whatever, it's fine.
Then
But-
you know what you've been doing.
Yep.
Continue.
that's why we have UGLs.
Yeah.
Bad shit anyway.
Bathtub bruise.
I tell you what,
Somebody's
I don't know if you feel
garage.
this, and we need to get in the show after this, but
Yeah.
I feel like the prescription shit is better than the UGL.
100% better. 100% better. The
no post injection pain. Like,
UGL stuff, like,
works better. Everything about
Yeah.
the prescription stuff works better.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's no wonder that like some of the shit that we've taken before like fucking bottomed us out when we came
Mhm.
off of it because
Yeah.
it probably was only working half as good as it should.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The prescription stuff's regulated.
Yep.
Yeah,
What you get from UGL
Yeah,
is
it's just like,
who knows?
and there ain't no fucking telling where Panda stuff comes from.
China.
It's probably made in some Chinese bathtub
Oh, it's
somewhere.
definitely Is it from a bathtub? I don't know, but it's definitely from China.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere super fucking shady,
Yeah.
probably. It is what it is. Well, that's the show before the show, guys. This is the Sip It and Rip It podcast. You can follow us at Sip It and Rip It, at Coleman_Barbell, at Nathan Skedios. And what's your Instagram handle?
I really don't know.
I think it's at Tammy
At
Dom.
Tammy.Mims.
Yeah. I think that's right.
At Tammy.Mims.
We can always look it
yeah,
up.
yeah, that's it. Tammy.Mims.
You'll be linked in the description. And
I'm pretty
in the
sure
bio
that's what
and
it
stuff.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, watch us on YouTube, subscribe, leave comments, likes, rate us 5 stars, all that good shit. You can bully us. You
Yeah.
can buy us liquor or a Mac Mini on our
A new
on our
microphone.
donation link. We'll take a new microphone. I mean, we'll take whatever you want to buy us. If you wanna
Truthfully,
buy-
like if you just buy it and give it to us, like we'll take it. Like
Shout out to Miss Tammy did buy us some Terramana tequila, and
good stuff.
yeah, it's very good stuff. And then Chris Treese provided what would have been a half gallon of liquid marijuana, except Zach drank half the half gallon before he got here. So we had a quart.
I will definitely have some at some point.
It's delicious. You should.
I'm sure it is. I love pineapple coconut, so that's my jam. I will.
Delicious. It really is.
Beachy.
Beachy. It is very beachy.
Yeah.
He did make it with, it's supposed to have coconut rum. He did coconut tequila,
Mhm.
Ooh.
1800, and I think it's better.
Really?
Ooh.
That's interesting.
I want it to taste like liquor when I have a mixed drink.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's
I don't want
fair.
it to be like hidden.
I don't know, man. That toasted coconut rum. Have you ever had?
No.
Do you like coconut rum?
Eh.
Okay.
I like coconut. I don't like coconut flavored anything.
Mm.
That's fair.
It just tastes off.
Coconut rum is my favorite fucking
God,
thing
it's so
on the
good.
planet. Like,
This
I like it better than whiskey, and that's saying a lot. To be honest with you. I might like the coconut tequila may be taking its place though, because
That's fair.
Yeah, I might. That might be worth a
try.
try.
1800 makes
We'll
one.
try.
Yeah, 1800 makes one. I think there's a couple of cheaper brands that make it, but
Yeah, you got to be careful with
have you
tequila.
noticed the price of tequila?
Uh-huh.
How much worse it is than like American whiskeys and stuff right now? It's probably up $10 or $20 a bottle.
Dang.
Like cheap bottles was like $50 to $60 now.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Montezuma is
crazy.
still, a $30 bottle.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you
Yeah,
want something
you
that
don't-
tastes good,
no, that's-
How much was this Terramana bottle? Was it like $40?
37?
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I
It
know.
was around 37, 36.
she's not in
37.
Coleman either, where we pay ridiculous amounts of money in sin taxes for
Well,
alcohol.
unless you go to ABC.
Well, that's where I got that.
Yeah, ABC. Yeah.
I'm not
I'm-
stopping at when the ABC stores. I'm not stopping at those other places.
I am talking
Yeah.
about like general walk-in
Yeah.
neighborhood liquor stores.
Yeah,
50,
they're going
60.
to be
it's
marked
deeper
up
down the
anyway because
road.
they have to get it through ABC.
Yep.
So it is what it is, but it's good shit. So what did we do in the gym this week?
Conditioning. Yay.
You're an off season, I'm taking it.
I am. Well, we're trying to decide whether or not we want to stay in the 165 or try to cut down to the 148 weight class. We're shooting for a certain dot.
Can I ask you where you walk around at now? Like, do you normally cut to 165?
No.
So
Well, but about 3 weeks out from regionals, I was at 171 ish. But I always gained 5 or 6 pounds during peaking. Those last 6 or 8 weeks.
Inflammation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inflammation. Just holding all the water. Yeah. I'm eating everything I can get my hands on because I'm starving to death. Typically, in the past, I've usually walked around 155. Now, for the past couple of years, I'm walking around closer to 160, 162.
fair enough, yeah.
But
Ron's like me in that he likes you to train at the weight class you're going to compete at as opposed to cutting off to it, right, for the most part.
yeah, and that's why we're playing with it now to see how easy I'm going to drop. Because I think when I weigh on Mondays and Fridays because I usually weigh lighter on Fridays because I've worked out 3 times. Friday morning, I was at 160.8, which is, I just thought that was amazing because I'm almost below 160 again.
Yeah.
If I get over 165, I'm fucking miserable.
Oh, really?
I'm too damn short to weigh. I mean,
It's crazy to think about 5 pounds making that big of
I'm
a swing.
serious. I'm miserable. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm walking like I'm 8 months pregnant. That's just too heavy.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like the reason I don't like being at 308 is it fucks with my deadlift. Like,
yes, I can't get to the
can't get in
bar.
position.
I'm here is like this big, and you put a 4-inch belt on and try to get a bar, and it ain't happening.
Yeah.
You need a full, good belly breath, and you can't fucking get that when you're heavier than you should be. Yeah, absolutely, and it sucks. I don't like it at all. But I mean, it does directly benefit my squat and my bench press. I can't lie. But deadlift, especially as bad of a squatter as I am, I need that deadlift.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather have the deadlift.
100%.
Like,
100%.
yeah, absolutely. It just
Bench
is
and
what it is.
deadlift is carrying my total. I mean,
Squat's carrying mine. Well, my squat and deadlift are
I was
close.
gonna
gonna
say,
say,
you're pretty badass deadlift.
you're well rounded.
Mine's pretty close. Mine stayed pretty. Usually, though, my deadlift is heavier than my squat. This last meet,
It was reverse.
I think I could have pulled the same deadlift that I squatted, but he was going for broke to try to get me qualified for American Pro. So, and I was fine with it. I don't care. I mean, it's his call. He knows that. I don't ever even know. I usually have to ask him when I come off the platform, what was that? The only thing I usually know is my openers because I block out the MC, whoever's on the mic. I'm so focused on the bar. I don't even see the plates on the bar. I don't even know what's on the bar. I'm looking straight in the center of the bar when I walk on the platform.
That's
so
fair.
I don't have a clue. I didn't know that I hit the 400-pound squat on my second attempt. I thought that was my third attempt. And he's like, no, that was 413. I'm like, oh, you shithead. But hey,
He snuck
it was
it
all
in
good.
on you.
It was okay. I don't mind.
So you're doing conditioning stuff right now, huh?
Yeah. We're doing on all 3 of the lifts. Work up to a single and then back off, or I'm doing sets of 10 on squat. SSB squat right now. Sets of 10 on squat. That's nice. My lungs love me. Sets of 8 on bench and 6 on deadlifts. Deficit deadlifts, which I don't like.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's good for you. It is. But I can tell I've cut down a little bit of weight because I can actually get to the bar a little better now. Even on that 2 or 3 inch deficit I'm standing on. So yeah, it's all good.
How about you, Nathan? You for week 1 with me.
Now, week 1 was deload part 2. Nothing was incredibly challenging. So we
didn't expect that on squats, to be fair, necessarily.
Squats were interesting because I feel like once I get readapted, because the pain is mostly gone now, we'll be able to kind of be more aggressive with squats. But as it stands, I'm just trying to get normal again, like the weight on my back feeling normal.
We did something different for Nathan too. We may have mentioned it last week, but we're going linear on squats and bench press.
Deadlifts,
which we haven't undulated.
Yep.
Yeah. That's been rare, but I think he's such a good handles bench volume so well that I think he was hungry for heavy benches anyway. So I think that probably that probably solved like a mental thing, and it also like. And honestly, it's just less for a coach to think about, to be completely honest with you. Oh, linear is easier when you write somebody's program.
What's bad about it is, I think you programmed me 345 or 350. If they're 350, and I was like, man, 365's going on there. And then I looked next week and it was 360. And I was like,
yeah, maybe not.
But the problem is that the third week it's beyond that, and then the fourth week it's beyond that.
I mostly did
See, I
that.
never see my programming out. I don't.
We
ever see
we
mine.
adjust on a weekly basis if we need to, but I am a planner from hell, so like as long as I can plan for it, as long as you're healthy, we're going as far out as I can.
Yeah.
As I can take. We're taking you to. You're going to see your program to deload, and I know there's a lot of coaches that don't do that, but like it's too. For me, it's just too easy to make a. Because I talk to everybody regularly, it's too easy to make an in session adjustment.
Yeah.
To like not be planned ahead. That being said, I can't lie to you. Like having Ron program weekly takes a little stress off of me because I do remember like being with Brandon. And even being with Nathan to some extent, and looking at my program and being like 4 weeks out, I have to do something I've never done before. I'm like, fuck.
See, I would have pre-anxiety for 3 weeks out if I saw that, and I'm like,
Well, that's why he does it. Like, I mean, I may be getting to a point where I'm going to be more willing to do that for people, but like, I'm always going to have.
You're gonna have.
Whether you know it or not, I'm always going to know what you're doing 6 weeks from now. Like that's just what it is. But I'm just like that anxious and that much of a planner. So it is what it is. And shit just happens. Like I said, you can make adjustments. But like I talk to Ron does too, but I'm sure you do. I talk to all my clients nearly daily. So like if something sucks, let's peel 50 pounds off the bar and get it done, man. Like you know, it is what it is. Like.
Fortunately,
we'll make the adjustment.
Week 1, we didn't have any.
That messes with your head when you have to take weight off the bar. It does me.
Well, I'll tell you what messes with me more, and I feel like it's true of my athletes too. I would rather take weight off and hit them than be stubborn, stay in it, and fucking miss something stupid that we know you got. Like just because you feel bad, like let's just take the day. Fucking throw 3 plates on the bar. I know Nathan can do that for 20. Like, so, you know, if he's having a rough bench day, like, take it down 315, get his 3 sets of 3 or whatever the shit it is that I have him programmed for. Like, I mean, that's fine. Like, let's get some stimulus and let's get out. And it is what it
Try
is.
again next week.
Yeah, try again next week. It'll be, you know, it'll be there. It won't. And then, you know, if there's a big problem, we'll adjust the whole fucking program. It is what it is.
It doesn't bother me now as bad as it used to. I used to really get all up in my feelings about it, but
I don't want to miss in practice, and I don't want my clients to miss in practice.
Right.
And that's
the thing where scaling back is really important because like you can if you go in like I think I've got 385 for a set of 3 on my bench press a couple weeks out, and I like if I go in there and I'm like, man, I don't feel like I can do this, and I miss it, I'm like, shit, I did that for 5. Why did I miss it for 3?
Yeah, then you're analyzing your whole fucking last year.
Yeah, all of a sudden everything's like,
yeah, exactly.
But if you just go in and you're like, man, this sucks, I'm just gonna hit 350 or something and get the sets that I need to and just do my back off sets. Don't even go to my top set. You still get stimulus, you still get something out of it. If you're just not recovered enough, then you'll go to the whatever progression is next week and you'll be
whatever
fine.
else is going on. I mean, you got life in on a regular basis.
Life comes up a lot more now that we're parents too.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I think it's just too easy to adjust day to day if we have to. You know what I mean? I'm not just a planner, and it is what it is. It may be that might be a problem of mine as a coach. I don't know, but and then too, you know, if they have. I'm not going to say this based on dots. I'm going to say it based on total. If they're a man and they total more than 1,500 pounds, we're probably not even hitting 100% in prep.
Yeah.
We might hit 97 for a double, but we're probably not touching a 1 rep max until platform day.
You've only got so many 1 rep maxes.
Well, you know, it's like Joe told him, and I agree with this. Do you want to PR in the gym or do you want to PR on the platform? You need to fucking decide.
Yeah.
Like,
nobody cares what you do in the gym.
I would rather a client wonder why I didn't do more than have to wonder why I didn't do less.
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah. I would always rather them be confident in thinking that they had 20 or 30 more pounds that day.
Then you get hungry. I want to go back and do it because I know I've got more than that. That's the way I am with my meet because like my squat was like probably an RP 9.5, but my bench and my deadlift were like an 8.5. So I was just like, man, I could have done so much more. And now I'm like, am I going to knock on the door of 1,800 at nationals? Like I feel like probably 1,750 would probably realistically cap me, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely going after
feeling 150% that day, and
see that's where this new product called iridescence comes in.
Yeah. You got me curious about that.
I will let you know in a few weeks. I think we've got
We have big deadlifts coming up for sure. Like early, to be honest with you.
635 for 1 to 3, which obviously I'm going for 3. That's going to be like the last deadlift of this block. So I will definitely be taking it then. There's also a bench press at 405 for 3, which I will definitely be trying it then. This week I didn't take nectar or anything. Like I took a little bit of pre-workout, but that was all of the stimulus. A little coffee, and I'm talking like a half quarter scoop. Like I don't take much, but just enough to kind of get me motivated.
I want enough to feel a little flushed, and that's about it. And I want that itchy feeling, and then
I just can't.
That's all I want anymore. About half scoop's my limit now. I've had more caffeine today than I care about, and I've only had a cup of coffee this morning, an energy drink midday, half scoop of pre-workout.
Yeah.
And that's like an extreme amount of caffeine for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't take pre-workout at all on lower body days. I fucking hate it on a squat or deadlift day. It makes me want to vomit.
It doesn't make me want to vomit, but man, I swear every single time I will be like warmed up or one set in and I will have bubble guts.
Yep.
And I'm just like sitting there sweating on the toilet, just like, oh my God, this is the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, and it sucks. That sucks too when you're already warmed up and then have to go back out there cold. And like, well, you're not going to do your warm up sets,
right?
Like, you know, that's definitely part of it. But like, I don't want, but especially off season stuff. Like, I don't want to have my heart rate jacked when I have to squat a set of 10.
Yep.
No, because you're already going to be breathing like a bull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I just don't really care to feel that way. It's fun as fuck on upper body days.
Yeah.
Like if like today, I knew I was going to have to get a hold of a heavy close grip. Like that's fine.
Right.
I'm good with that.
Under a bench bar if I'm all geeked out on something.
I can do it on bench, but I cannot do it on squat or deadlift.
Getting the tingles.
Don't want it.
You're holding the bar and you're just like, you can just feel yourself just like really.
I ruined my second meet with too much caffeine and drinking a drink that I had not had before.
That's fair. Trying something new is dangerous.
Yeah.
I ruined myself with, I think part of the reason I got hurt at the Maverick is I get nervous, don't drink enough, don't eat enough because I'm got fucking bubble guts about fucking,
concerned about the
meat. And then I fucking forget that I haven't had, a gallon of water by whatever time I normally would have that gallon or whatever it may be. And it sucks. But
that is one thing I can say about my showing up at a meet. I've never shown up to a meet nervous. Like I always get the squat jitters, but after that first squat, I'm just like, I don't care. Like
squats all of it. No, I can't lie to you in terms of nerves.
Yeah.
I think I'm more nervous on weigh-in day than I am. For real.
I don't care.
Well,
weigh-in day, I'm like freaking.
I know I'm not gonna hit 308.
Yep.
And I guess I might be more nervous about this time knowing I need 275.
Right.
But like, I'm very big about training it. Like I said, training in that weight class that you're going to be in and everything else. So it is, I don't know. It is what it is.
I don't know. When I had Joe backing me, I was like, I don't got anything to worry about. He's got it all under control.
I don't know that.
I did freak out.
I know how genius his water cut is, but that water cut, the thought of that water cut almost gives me a panic attack thinking about it. The idea of taking magnesium citrate the week of a meet is just like mind blowing to me.
No, it's not out here.
It's close to the potty when you.
I took it. So when I took it, it was late at night. And I went to bed, so I would wake up and just like go shit, and wake up and go shit.
Shit on the bed.
Well, that's the thing. Like he said, you have to get a certain amount of water before you can take this, and it was 2 a.m. before I got my water, and I was like, "Well, here we go." And I tried to stay up, and I was like, "I can't stay up."
Your schedule is like probably your weakest link at the moment.
Yep, absolutely.
It ain't you. It ain't your work ethic. It ain't food. It ain't anything else. It's probably your schedule.
Yeah.
Fucking irregular sleep is probably your worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not sleeping like a shit. But we've been on like a million tangents. What did you do?
I actually had a good gym week. Had a cracked rib, so squats were pretty hard this week. I was supposed to have an AMRAP on the SSB bar. Got what I needed it for. Let me just say that. Didn't kind of underperform, but it just fucking hurt. So
right.
But it was good. Bench press day was mid. Everything happened as it was supposed to. Wasn't great. Wasn't good either. But because of my split currently sucks because I have a heavy bench on Saturday and then I have a heavy secondary bench on Saturday and then my heavy bench days on Monday. And I had to do that to accommodate my lifting partner.
Right.
So ideally I would normally hit legs on Saturday and then have 3 or 4 days rest before
Yeah.
I bench again on. So that's been a problem because like I'm rested on Saturdays for my close grip, and then I'm not rested on bench day on Monday. So it is what it is. So my close grips fucking thrive, and my regular grip bench sucks. But like I said, it was to accommodate somebody. I want him around.
Yeah.
I want to be able to train with him. But he doesn't show up on Saturdays. For him to get legs in, we had to do legs on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it kind of fucked me.
Right.
It's not ideal by no means, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if I can close grip 4 plates, I can probably
Yeah.
I can regular press it when I'm recovered. So it just is what it is. Wednesday's my shoulder press day. Cracked rib really fucking sucks on an overhead press. It's the worst, like right at extension. So I had second week in a row. Last warm up was at like 185. Hit it and it was okay. It was like mostly pain free. And then I was supposed to do singles up to like 245 and missed everything above 205 because I just didn't fucking, the pain was too much. So I had to drop down and do an AMRAP on that. So I didn't really get to post anything cool on overhead press. Deadlift though, I got 555 beltless, chalkless.
For a double?
For a double, probably could have gone 3, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like it rearranged my insides when I did it. Like, it's my first heavy double since Ron. And it's the most I've ever done for reps. So, really proud of it, but is what it is. And then today, I worked up, because it's my last day on this block, I worked up to a heavy single on close grip, 385, moved really well. Did drop sits at 315 and 225. I kept it at 6 for both just because I was
hurting.
Yeah. Elbows fucking hurt, shit like that. So it was a good week, but next week's deload. And the way I kind of structure mine is next week's deload, but it's also basically my on-ramp for the next block. So it's a brand new block, but it'll be, 2 plates on bench press, 3 plates on squat and deadlift. It'll be kind of easy. It'll be deload and new exercises at the same time. So I needed it. It's just time. So it is what it is. But a successful day. A successful week for sure.
That's good.
Cracked ribs suck. Don't know that you should lift on them. But it has got progressively better. So it is what it is. And it was one of those things like I talked to one of our listeners, Zach Rodriguez, was like, do the West Side thing and just fucking wrap it up and go anyway.
Or you rapping? Yeah.
Like, I didn't ever wrap it. But it was one of those things like I was just really happy it wasn't a lat because I thought I tore a lat initially.
Right.
And that was going to put me out like 6 to 8 weeks. When I figured out it was a rib, because the location, because it was on my back.
Yeah.
When I figured out it was a rib, I was like, a cracked rib's a cracked rib, a cracked rib. Like,
you can't do much.
Can't do much for it, but it's also not a muscle strain. So, like, it's not going to affect your strength. Just go fucking send it. And that's what I did. And it's gotten progressively better on its own. So,
that's good.
It is what it is. So, that was my week. PR songs?
PR songs. Tammy, did you come prepared with PR songs?
I did.
Okay, what you got? What you got?
Oh, I'll just go with my ones that we always play when I do something crazy in the gym. My squat song is Always Lose Yourself. The majority of the time. Majority of the time.
Lose Yourself by Eminem?
Yes.
Okay.
Or Till I Collapse. How appropriate. Yeah, I'm a big Eminem fan.
That's fair.
Bench. As I didn't have a bench PR song for a long time, and we got to playing around with some stuff before regionals, and one day Ron finally said, "This is your bench song. Higher, Eminem and Pink." And then my deadlift song was Crazy Bitch. Gary. So I mean, it just fits. So I mean, when Heidi texted me before regionals, she said, "I need your deadlift song. We're going to do walkout songs for the last deadlift." And I'm like, "Heidi, there's not a cut version of my deadlift song. It won't be song. It won't be a song. It'll be music and that's it." So we had to choose something else. So I did choose Higher for that one.
Yeah.
And then with the debacle with me forgetting my belt, I don't even remember hearing it.
That was
there's
wild.
that.
And
That was crazy.
I was no help in that moment at all. But I did
never-
have a lifter like right before you too.
I've never done that before. Getting ready, hit the ammonia, about to hit the ammonia. I don't even remember if I'd hit the ammonia or not.
I feel like you had because I was standing right in this because Lance goes
and I
one
was
before
reaching
you.
down to make sure my belt was latched and it wasn't there. And I'm like, holy shit. I think I pulled the bar off with 0.8 seconds left on the clock when I pulled it off the floor. Of course, I didn't get it. It was 4:24. And I don't know if all that had not happened if I would have gotten it.
Right.
But I'd tried 4:24 once before. We did a Hail Mary at SummerSlam in 2022. And it was a big Hail Mary because I had not at that point pulled anywhere near 400. And I didn't even break the floor.
Yeah.
But I did get it off the floor this time, so there's that.
Progress.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, those are mine.
Cool. Zach, do you have yours? Or do you want me to go?
No, I'll let you go ahead and go because I'm still shopping because I'm never prepared for this segment.
So there's two there's two that I was listening to this week that got me going pretty good. One of them is pretty standard. It's Vagrant Idol by Demaritious. Demaritious.
That makes me want to eat for some reason.
There's burgers left.
They are like a death thrash band. Their first album is really good. It's very much like Imagine Slayer, but with death metal vocals.
Okay, cool.
So they're really good. And their like second and third and maybe fourth album, I don't know how many they've done, were like very much more like hardcore, and I didn't like them nearly as much. So, but yeah, that's a big one for me. I really like it. And then this is a weird one, but it is a band that we both like. Is Colony of Birchmen by Mastodon. I don't know, man. That song.
I don't know if it's a PR song, but not for me. But it's a good song.
When I was listening to them, I was like, "It's getting on, man." I don't know.
That's an old one. It's almost like I know of its existence. I've listened to it 1,000 times, but like it was parked in some file, like way deep in my brain.
It's like 2007, 2008.
Probably earlier than that because Crack the Sky came out in 08 or 09.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think Crack the Sky was 08.
We're maybe talking about like 04, 05. Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a bone to our good buddy Lance McLaughlin, who's going to be on the show this month sometime? This coming month? July, right?
July 19th?
Let's go all hardcore for him. We're going to do an old Hatebreed song because he rips on me for like a new Hatebreed. Doomsayer by Hatebreed is one I listened to in the gym a couple times this week. I'm going to call it PR material, but I didn't have PRs for anything but deadlifts.
Right.
And on deadlift, I'm pretty sure I listened to, it was playing in the background. Fuck, I don't remember what
I don't know.
It was one of the heavy hitter songs I was playing but it's already on the list. Doomsayer by Hatebreed, and then One More Enemy by, I'm sorry, we've already put that one on there. This World Never Wanted Me by Terror.
There you go.
Yep. 2 hardcore songs. I'm not a hardcore guy, metalhead, but those songs fucking rip. And, a little foreshadowing for Lance. I don't know what he's going to put some type of vegan fucking meathead, vegan domination, some hardcore band from somebody's basement.
It's like, is this on Spotify? No. You can download the MP3 file on their Facebook page.
It'll be something by a bunch of upper middle class white kids that feel really, really oppressed that they wrote in their parents' basement, probably.
Are you talking about Rage Against the Machine again?
No, I was talking about the hardcore movement's kind of a little bit like that, though. Yeah.
So, PR songs.
PR songs are out of the way, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. What do you have for Tammy? Because I don't ever prepare questions.
I had like tons
We're just going with it.
Oh yeah, I had tons of questions that I wanted to ask, but basically first, for people who don't know you, who are you and why are you lifting?
Why am I lifting?
Give us you and your story.
Yeah.
Do you each have therapists on call?
I do. Actually.
No. Tammy Mims. I am the manager of Express Fitness in Clanton. I've been powerlifting since 2019. Did my first meet in September 2019.
You know what's crazy is that we have been powerlifting for about the same amount of time.
Really?
Yeah, about 5 years.
The first time I ever lifted, period, was 2018.
Okay.
I joined our gym. I joined Express when they opened in December of 14. Cardio queen. Came in every day after work, hit the cardio for 45 minutes, an hour, and went home. It's like, off and on. I was not really as consistent as I should have been with my family history. My mom died when she was 33 of a heart attack. So I really try to pay attention to that, and I let it get out of control. So that got me back in the gym consistently about 2016. Blood pressure 230 over 109 will kind of scare you when you're having chest pains and you can't breathe. So did the cardio thing for a couple of years, and actually was a patient of mine from the doctor's office. Texted me one night because I had saw him in the gym, hadn't seen him in a while. He said, "Why don't you lift?" I don't know. I don't I don't want to get hurt. I'm old. I was 48. I don't want to get hurt. Do you want to lift? Like, yeah, I think I would like it, but I've never even walked on that side of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
That side of the gym terrified me. He said, be here Saturday morning at 9:00. Like, dude, I can't afford a trainer right now. I'm putting kids through high school. He said, I didn't say anything about money. Show up. That was it. Immediately, within 2 or 3 weeks, I was like, this is where I belong. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a personal trainer. I set goals within 6 weeks of being with him. Within 2 years, I wanted to be a personal trainer. Within 5 years, I wanted to either be managing my own gym or have my own gym. I did all that in like 18 months. 2019, a couple of the guys in the gym were powerlifting. They were competing. John Scott, some of you may know him. He was deadlifting one day and he said, come do this. I think you can do this. I think he had like, I don't know, what did he have on there? I think it was 135. So, I mean, it came up. He's like, wait a minute. So he put some more on there. It was like 185. It came up. He's like, well, damn, wait a minute. So, and then we're 225, and I'm sure, we didn't video it, but I'm sure it was ugly. I'm sure it was horrible. But it came up, and he's like, I'm gonna need you to sign up for a meet, and I'll coach you. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, I'll think about it. And I went to a meet at when Les worked at Diamond K.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a meet up there. It was USAPL meet.
What year was this?
February of 2019.
That was Sandy was at. My wife competed in that meet.
Did she?
Yep.
Oh, really?
There was a couple of ladies there that were closer to my age, and I'm like, well, damn, I'm not too old to do this. So and I loved it. The energy was like crazy. A friend of mine that was lifting with me at the time, she went with us. She went with me. We came back to the gym and worked out, and I wanted to lift the whole gym.
Yep.
So, that was in February. So I kept putting John off, and I kept putting him off, and I kept putting him off. And then I'm on TRT from my gynecologist. So I didn't know that there were federations that you could lift non-tested.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I knew was USAPL. That was my introduction to any kind of powerlifting. So one of the guys at the gym said, yeah, you can't, this older guy at the gym, he said, they have you on test. You're not going to be able to do that. You'll be drug tested. That's banned. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm not going to be able to do it after all. Then I found out I could. So I told John, I said, after I get back from vacation in June, we'll find a meet. I was at the gym on a Sunday. And after I got back, and he said, okay, come here. Pick the lock to the office. I was not managing there at the time. It was someone else. He picked the lock to the office. We sat down on the computer, and he started asking me all these questions. He said, okay, I need your debit card. I just signed you up for the, what was it, the one at Orange Beach at the time? I should remember
Queens
my
of the
first
Beach?
meet. No. It was before Queens of the Beach. No, it's not Battle of the Bay. That's where I got broke. Anyway, it was in Orange Beach. So.
Was it USPA?
Yep, USPA. First meet, I took like 15 people with me. They all, the guy that introduced me to all of it had shirts made for everyone. So, I had my grandkids in the front saying my Grammy can lift your Grammy on signs. And, it was awesome. I went 8 for 9 at that meet. The only reason I didn't go 9 for 9, I hadn't read the rule book all the way. I didn't. Made my last squat. I was tickled because of what it was. It was like, I don't know, 281.
Mm-hmm.
And when I stood up with it, I stomped my foot because I was happy. I got the red lights because I moved my foot. But it was all good. I had a good day. I think my total was like 711.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's not too bad for your first meet when you're old. So anyway, that was it. I had that coach for the first 2 meets. Third meet, I coached myself. After that, I sent a text to Ron, hoping I'd get a reply, and I did. So here we are.
So how'd you meet Ron?
I'd never formally met him. He was at a lot of meets, of course, where I was. Because after I had done a couple, I wanted to be involved on the staffing side.
Right.
So I contacted Charlie, and, I started going to meets and helping him out at the score table. And then it was before I even became judge. So I had seen Ron. He was at, I think, my second meet. I think he competed. I don't remember if he competed or if he coached at that meet. So I followed him on social media, of course. because I don't follow a lot of women powerlifters because I let it get in my head. So I follow mostly guys. I just knew he was local. I needed one-on-one. My first coach, my only coach I've had other than Ron, was online. That did not work for me. I have to have accountability and somebody knowing that I can do what I don't think I can do, because I get in my head a lot. So send him that text, and I even put it out there. If you can't or not taking any new clients, can you recommend someone that does? And I got a text right back, and I cried. So I was like, yes. Yeah. So yeah. We make a great team. He just gets me. He knows my moves better than anybody. That's it.
History.
Yeah, it is. It's like he's my older, younger little brother. I forget he's the same age as my kids. And I think it really hit him. He was at the gym one day, and my daughter was up. She lives in Irvington, down below Mobile. And she was up. They were both sitting in the office, and they were talking, and he was telling her where he went to school down there and what years they graduated. I think it hit him at that time. So he looked at Cassie, and then he looked at me, and I'm like, I told you. But I don't think about that.
Right.
When we're together. We just click. I mean, we don't even have to really say anything. I can walk in the gym. He knows my mood. So, and that's people don't realize, if you gotta have a coach you click with.
Yeah. Because
I did not click with my first coach. We did not communicate well. He's a good coach. He's a very good coach. We just didn't click.
Right.
We didn't, and maybe I didn't give it time, but I don't do well with online programming.
That's fair.
I got to have somebody in person.
I've only had 2 coaches now. I think about it. It's Zach and Joe. And like,
well, that's tough shoes to fill too, by the way.
but like
the most intimidating person to program for is Nathan, because he had Joe.
Because he had Joe.
Yeah.
Truthfully though, like from like a perspective of clicking with people, I feel like I clicked really well with both. Like the first time I met Zach, and I've told this story a million times, I thought he was an asshole.
That's what everybody says about me. I even have a shirt that says I'm nicer than my face looks.
But the thing was, and I didn't know the whole situation. I just saw him. I think you were cleaning, or clean and jerk, or clean and press.
Probably cleaning or something. Yeah.
But
I used to do that a lot.
You were doing that while John, what's his face?
Yeah, I was probably being an asshole and probably cleaning everything he deadlifted.
You were.
Was he being that guy? Okay.
Yeah. But you were slamming the bar
That guy
down.
has a story, though.
Yeah, not a good person.
Yeah, I understand.
But you were slamming the weights down, and I was kind of like, what? What is this dude doing? He's an asshole. Like, why is he slamming the weights down?
I was being an asshole.
Angry.
He was.
I was being an asshole.
But I didn't understand the whole situation.
Angry
and stuff like
powerlifters.
that. But then one day he came up to me and was like, hey, yeah, so you squat, bench, and deadlift. Like, you do barbell stuff. You should join our powerlifting team.
There you go.
And then I was like,
the rest is history.
Like, I don't know what that is.
See?
And he was like, oh, it's squat, bench, and deadlift. And I was like, oh, I'm not good at it. And he was like, well, it's okay. You don't have to be. And I was like,
I can show you.
Nathan actually came in with a really big press.
Yeah, I was 180 pressing 295.
Yeah.
Wow.
Natty before I started that dark path of
where you went to the dark side.
Yeah, but my deadlift was like 385 for 2, and squat was
275 for 2.
Yeah,
I remember it being a little less than what your 1 rep bench press.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I benched, I was tickled because I had 95 pounds on the bar. I had a 25-pound plate on each side, and I thought that was just the most amazing thing in the world.
Little did you know.
I know, right? I fell in love. I was like, damn, I like this.
One thing about your story I'm particularly interested in is you said you had a friend, I guess he was a trainer, that said show up on Saturday morning.
No, he was not a trainer. He was just a gym bro.
Oh. But you did say, hey, I can't afford a trainer. Like,
right.
He said, hey, show up for free. Like,
yeah.
People think...
I continuously, every meet.
There's not a whole lot of people that, maybe that I even want to know this, but like, I find people I want to invest in, whether they can pay me or not is beside the point. Nathan's been one of them. I've invested in Nathan since day one, and Austin is another.
Yeah.
And I've had women the same way. Heather Calvert being one of them. I mean, 1,000-pound total. Why not
I mean, it
invest
just
in a
helps your
woman?
resume.
You know, it does, but like people think I'm crazy because like I will give services away, and I'm like, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I think good coaches would do that. I think Ron would do this if he saw something in somebody, to be honest with you. But it does benefit me to say, hey, I believe in you. Let's do this. But there's like some power in somebody just saying, you don't fucking owe me nothing, like, but I think you belong in this. Like there's like, even for me, like, you know, if somebody was to come to me and be like, man, I think you can do this, like, I don't know, but there's a special part of the story when somebody's willing to help you.
Yeah, and
that either doesn't know you or maybe like, you know, doesn't want anything in return or whatsoever, you know, whatever it may be. But there's something into somebody just buying into you, just like fucking knowing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
that dude pushed my ass. Because at the time at Express, I think maybe there might have been 3 women that would be on the free weight side of the gym. And I call him my favorite asshole because he is an asshole. He would get right up in my ear when I would be whatever I was doing. It's like, you're not going to let another bitch in this gym outlift you. Do this shit. I'm like, okay.
So, I mean, speak a little bit more to that, because I still have new female clients all the time, and they loosen up pretty quick. But they're always like, I don't belong on that side of the gym.
Right.
Well, that's not my side of the gym. Like,
but it is.
But I'm like, hey, I have to remind women weekly.
Yeah.
You pay the same gym membership those men do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have just as much access to them. Honest to God, like some of my women, and you can ask Nathan, I have a really strong roster of women.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my women are fucking stronger than your average gym bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was like, listen, like, you have as much right to that side as they do. You don't have to wait for them to leave. You don't have to wait for anything. Like, just go fucking do you. But like, what kind of, because me and Nathan are never going to know. I mean, like, as a woman, what's your mindset? Like, traveling from, you're going to be a cardio queen to now you're going to go lift with the boys. And like talk about that intimidation and like what got you over it? What was the deal? How did you get over it? Like, what did you do to like make that easier for yourself? Because I'm sure there's a lot of women, mine included, that would like to know, like, what made you feel like you belonged over there with us? Because you do. You know what I mean? Like, they do. You know what I mean?
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah, they do belong over there.
It was Sherelle. And that was the guy that got me started lifting, period. It was him. He was that guy that when he walked in the gym, everybody knew who he was.
Yeah.
He was pretty strong. He's been out of the gym for a while now. He's shooting pool. He's living life. He's living it. But it was him. His confidence, I think, kind of just wore off on me. Because he did. He walked in like he owned the place, and he had been at another gym before they built Express, and a whole group of them that were there wound up coming over to Express when they built, because Cornerstone doesn't have, it's a physical therapy facility. They have a gym. They're not 24/7 like we are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, everybody says it's the bougie place. so they have good equipment and stuff. It's just they have classes and childcare and all that stuff. We don't have that. But anyway, it was him. I owed all of that confidence, any lifting confidence that I had in the beginning, to him, because I did not feel like I belonged on that side of the gym. I remember walking on that side of the gym one Sunday when nobody was in there, and my ass shot back across that room like something was after me. I don't belong. It was just intimidating because I didn't know what to do. But having him, and we worked out together like 6-7 days a week for like 6 or 8 weeks, and he changed jobs. So then I was on my own.
Sure.
And I was like, holy shit, what am I going to do? He's like, you can do this. We've been doing this every day. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would sit at work. I had my little notebook. I've still got all these notebooks, and plan out my workout. Plan my workout out, and I would just go in and just do it. I mean,
yeah.
Once I realized I like how strong felt,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
then it was like, okay, I'm good.
So what advice do you have to those ladies that feel the same way? Because there's plenty of them.
Go lift the shit. It's good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, first of all, the health benefits. It is scientifically proven. Strength training reverses bone loss in women. And that is one of the big things we face as we get older. And that is shown up for me twice in the past few years. I had a wreck after SummerSlam. SummerSlam was in 2022. We lifted Saturday. We came home Sunday. Monday, I was headed to get a massage. This guy shoots across the road in front of me, and I hit him in the side. He flips around, hits me in the door, and I'm trapped in my car. My door won't open. My driver door won't open. Passenger door won't. I had to climb out the back. All I had was some airbag burns. Went to the ER, and the doctor said, "You're not hurting anywhere." And I'm like, "Mm-mm." I said, "My shins hurt a little where the dash airbag fell out." And he's like, "And you're how old?" And I said, "I'm 52." And he said, "You work out, don't you?" And I was like, "Yes, sir. I'm a power lifter." He said, "Well, I'll just tell you, any other 52-year-old woman in this county had the wreck that you just had with your car looking like it looked, we'd be admitting them."
Yeah.
They would have broken bones, multiple broken bones. He said, "Your muscle structure just saved your ass."
Yeah. That's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
I remember it's different, a little different because he's a male, but I remember, when I was with Brandon, he had that terrible motorcycle accident. Yeah, broke his hips and everything like that. And the doctor straight up told him, he's like, "Listen, man, if you wasn't who you are, if you didn't do what you did, if you wasn't a world-class powerlifter, you wasn't, 70% muscle, you'd be fucking dead."
Yeah, it helped. I mean, even when I broke my collarbone, I didn't have any muscle damage because everything was so dense and tight. It stayed intact.
Yeah.
I pulled a deadlift after I broke my collarbone. A pretty heavy deadlift. Which, in my defense and Ron's, because if he had known it was broke, I'm sure he would not have let me continue. We didn't know it was broke. We thought I tweaked the muscle or something. Yeah. I just knew I was hurting like hell. But yeah, that recovery was fairly easy.
Yeah.
Intimidating, I'm sure, still, because it sucks to be hurt. We've talked about that.
Yeah, it does. I mean, but I did not have the mental issues after that break that I figured I would have.
Sure.
From being down for so long, because up until that point, I had never missed more than a week.
Yeah.
Of doing something.
I'm sure those weeks are probably you're sick or you're on vacation, right? At that point,
the longest time I'd been out was I had COVID in 2020. I worked out. I trained with COVID. I was sick.
Same.
Until I could not, until Ron shut me down because it was right before Christmas and I was competing in February at state. And he's like, you're not going to get well if you don't stop.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't out a whole week. And then after nationals, I lifted on Thursday at nationals and I didn't come home until I stayed because it was like a 4-day meet. There was a couple of guys down there that were lifting and days that I wasn't lifting. So I wanted to stay and watch them. So I came home like Tuesday. So those 2 times were the longest times I've ever not lifted. And when I broke my collarbone, I couldn't do anything. For 5 weeks, I rode a bicycle twice. At first, my doctor didn't want me to do it because I couldn't sweat because I had a fresh wound, a fresh surgical wound. And then Ron did want me to ride the bicycle a lot, so he didn't want me to lose any leg muscle mass in my legs. So I was like, God damn, this is bad. But I was training my clients. I was still training my clients every day. In a sling, toting no more than 25 pounds in this arm because I couldn't put any pressure, but I think that helped.
Hell yeah.
Just moving around probably.
Yeah, and then like 5 weeks.
Still.
After 5 weeks, I went back to training. I was just doing unilateral stuff more outside and pulling that damn sled around with a nylon strap around my waist.
Whatever it took.
My legs got strong as hell. Stronger.
I was almost going to say SSB bar, but that'd probably been hell on a collarbone.
No. It was, my
doctor,
I went to the doctor when I found out it was broke. We'd come back on Monday. I went to the doctor's when I found out it was broke. And
do y'all have a belt squat? God, I bet you wish you did. Yeah.
We do, but Ron never programmed it for me.
I'm surprised that he didn't say, "Hey, we're just going to fucking get strong as fucking belt squat."
He never programmed it. And he's been up there and used it.
Yeah.
But he never programmed it for me. But the doctor, my orthopedic, when I used to work at the medical facility I used to work at, he came there on Tuesdays and I knew his PA and he's not with me anymore, but I texted him and I said, "Hey, I'm going to see Dr. Wolf." I said, if he gives me this bullshit about my age and then I just need to quit, I'm walking out. I said, I'll find somebody. Yeah. I said, but they're fixing to fix my collarbone because I'm not done. And it never crossed my mind that, oh my God, I got hurt. I can't do this anymore. Never. I was like, I'm not done. I've got things I want to do and I'm going to find a doctor to fix me. So I think he told me after the fact that he contacted Dr. Wolf and said, hey, look, you want to fix her because she going to get up and walk out your office. And sure, the day I went, he said, you got to have surgery when you want to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He said, you got to pay attention. He said, your recovery is going to be longer than you want it to be. He said, but I need to be 110% sure when I put you back under a bar that you're well.
Sure.
And I listened to him, and we eased back under. I still didn't get under a squat bar, a regular squat bar, until August. Because the mobility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to tie this to mental health at all, but like me and Nathan definitely feel like our ability to lift and our strength is tied to how we feel about ourselves, like self-esteem and whatnot. I mean, if you can speak to that to some extent, and also, I mean, just like you're talking about, like how, I mean, because I've experienced the same thing. Like I've been hurt more than anybody should in a short and pathetic powerlifting career. But just like an unwillingness to quit, like when everybody expects you to quit. I remember the first bad injury I had. My mom was like, "You're done with this, right?" I'm like,
no.
Fuck no! I was squatting before the week was over. She probably shouldn't have been, but I was doing bodyweight squats after I tore my groin, 5 days out, something like that. But like just a willingness to not quit and what it does for us mentally and just have something to focus. I almost think injuries are a blessing to some extent. And now I'm not saying that it's good to get
Rod
injured.
said the same thing.
But like it puts it in perspective why you do it, how far you're willing to go. Like it challenges your discipline and just like your mental capacity to put up with bullshit in a way that I just needed to know that I could. Mm-hmm. Didn't matter if I'd ever be good again or not. I just needed to know that I could.
I didn't think I would. I thought my bench especially would suffer because that's when I got hurt.
Okay.
Was under bench. Yeah, I was under 209 and it never touched me. It was just tension. My pec just popped my collarbone.
Yeah.
Looking back, about 3 weeks out from that meet, I was having some discomfort in that area, and I thought it was just pec strain from the heavy loads. But now we figure I probably had a hairline fracture. Yeah. And it could have stemmed from that wreck because that wreck was a few months before. Sure. And it was just now showing up because the loads were heavy.
Sure.
I have no way of knowing that because we didn't do any x-rays or anything when I had the wreck. But I think I was never scared to get back under anything after that accident, except during prep for Olympia that I got invited to while I was, the day the doctor released me to go back to full training, 2 days later, I got the invitation for Olympia. The first time Ron put 209 on the bar, I liked to shit. I'm like,
I don't fucking want to do this.
Actually, he put 209 on the bar and I panicked and he chipped it, and so it made it 211. So the first time I got under that close of a weight again, he went over. Just so that way. But then this last meet, we opened with 209.
Man, there is something to just disrespecting the weight that you're scared of and just fucking and chipping it like that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've done that for clients, done it for myself, anything like that. Like, there's something like, hey, this is fucking scary, but like things are moving at RPE 7, like, just do this for confidence. Like, I can't tell you how many times
I wasn't scared of the weight. I was just, I don't know.
The process.
Yeah, the process. Because when I had my staples removed, I asked the doctor, could I keep them? And he's like, why? And I was like, because I'm going to have some bad days. I know bad days are coming. I'm going to have some days when I think I'm not ever going to get back to where I was. And I need this to remind me that, yeah, you can. Mm-hmm. And you're going to. And I still have them. They're in the console of my car, in the little urine specimen cup, my 19 staples. I don't have any quit in me and that's one. I think that is one reason why I started powerlifting. After I started lifting weights and I knew I liked it, I knew I needed something because I get bored easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew I needed something to
keep your mind occupied.
Keep a goal.
Yeah,
and not just a goal that I could set and I did that. A goal that I could continue to build on. Mm-hmm. And I knew I was not getting on stage in a bikini. That was out. No, I got too much no. I didn't even know powerlifting existed. Didn't know what it was. Never seen it. I'd seen Olympic weightlifting on TV. Yeah. But so I was like, when the guys at the gym was like, you need to do this, and it's okay. But yeah, I don't. No, quitting is not an option, and that's what I tell all my clients.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If you're not having fun and you don't enjoy this anymore, and it's affecting you mentally because you don't enjoy it, and you're having to you just dread it so bad coming in here. It's causing you issues. That's understandable. We'll figure something out, but we don't quit.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I lean on, I'm not a really big conjugate guy, but I lean on the Louis Simmons quote of weak things break. Like, things go bad because it's there to teach you a lesson sometimes. And like, now that's something you need to train. That's something you need to get better at. Broken bone's kind of hard to, I can't lie to you. That's a little
crazy
like,
because it was
that's
nothing,
a little bit more freaky.
It was
you know
nothing
what I mean?
that was,
But like,
I did wrong. I didn't drop the bar on me. The spotters didn't drop a bar on me. Nothing touched me. It was a non-contact break. So that was, I couldn't blame it on anything.
Yeah, sure.
There was nothing to blame it on other than
bad
my
luck.
muscles were stronger than my bones.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's pretty much what the doctor said.
You're like the Bo Jackson of powerlifting.
He said, Dr. Wolf said, you have really, really big muscles and really, really tiny bones. He said, your collarbone's tiny anyway. He said, you had a compromise in there from something. And he said, it might have happened during training. I mean,
yeah, just not known it.
And just not known it. Because stress fractures, I mean, they happen in your feet a lot, especially with deadlifting.
My training partner, Adam, fucking stress fractures in his forearms from, he's a really good strongman, fucking consistently overhead pressing 300 plus pounds all the time, fucking stress fractures in his forearms. That never took him out, but that's something that, he had to slow down, nearly stop pressing and stuff for. Like, I mean, shit happens in powerlifting, but like, I don't know, there's something too, just not wanting to quit. Honest to God, if I got hurt tomorrow, Monday morning, I'd be figuring out how to fix it. Like, there's just no fucking, I could be in a fucking wheelchair by Friday, and I'm going to figure out by that next Monday what can I do.
About 4 weeks out from this last meet, I broke my toe. I broke my little toe. Got up in the middle of the damn night, stomped my toe. I mean, broke it. My whole side of my foot was black. And it hurt for weeks and weeks and weeks. If I can deadlift with a broke collarbone, I can fucking squat with a broke toe. We're good. We're going to do this.
I like the pain. It's actually, I think they're an MMA. They do gym stuff, but they're mostly MMA apparel. But Kill Crew has a saying that it's only pain, it won't hurt you. I fucking love that. I really do. There are worse things than physical pain. Like, fucking suck it up, Buttercup. Not within fucking reason. You know what I mean? Like, I think as powerlifters, most of the time a muscle strain is more serious than almost anything else we can do. Like,
it's the hardest.
Especially
it
tear
takes
it
a
off
long
the
to
bone,
recover
something
from.
like that. Yeah, I mean, you have a grade 3 strain and you have to have it surgically repaired. Like, that's a really fucking...
That's a year. That's at least a year long.
The scary thing about the rib was like, if it was a lat, then can't squat on a straight bar, can't deadlift, can't bench press. Like, what the fuck do you do? Like, find a way around it, right? Like, there's some things that just like suck worse than others, but like, I just don't see. I know I'm mediocre. I know I'm going to remain mediocre. I'm going to get better. You know what I mean? I'm never going to be a world record holder. Let's be honest. But like, I just don't have the desire to stop. Like, I just don't identify with that whatsoever.
I'm going to be that little 80-year-old woman still on the platform.
I'll be honest with you. I would be willing to. I mean, if it kept me in it, I would be willing to change sports before I quit. I would bodybuild or something like. But I'm just quitting. Not fucking option. Like, not at all. I don't have the dietary discipline for bodybuilding. But if it meant stopping or doing that, I'd figure it out. That's all there is to it. But I mean, I don't think most people understand that, but what it does for me and Nathan specifically, because we've talked about it so much, but what it does for our brain, what it does for our confidence. Me and Nathan both started this because we were feeling sorry for ourselves, basically. because we lacked confidence, because we didn't feel good, because life fucking sucked. You know what I mean? That's why we started it, and that's to think that it could go somewhere.
Oh man,
and not be replaced by something else or something better, or not have somewhere else to put this energy or mindset or something like that is just unimaginable. And at your age, to break your bone and to still have that mindset of come back and do it anyway is pretty fucking incredible. But that's something we identify with for sure, because there ain't 100%. I don't care if my best total is fucking 1,200 pounds, I will never fucking stop. There's just not, there's just not any, I mean, I have no desire to quit. Like, it's different. People think we're fucking insane. They can say whatever the fuck they want to.
You should live where I live and be the only woman in the whole county that does it.
People definitely cower to a challenge. It's like you know how bad you hurt. And you know what? You're fucking over it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I still
It's
have
fucking
nerve
done,
pain.
right? Like, I mean, it's fucking done. It's over it. I mean, you're over it. I mean, like, it's temporary.
Yep.
The idea of quitting, so much fucking worse than whatever fucking pain I'm going to go through. Like, so much worse.
Which I'm a firm believer in. Everything you do prepares you for where you're going, good or bad, whichever. So in my situation now, because this just happened last weekend, my husband's disabled. He's a left leg below knee amputee from diabetes. He's not a little fella.
Right.
He weighs right at 330.
Sure.
So I helped him transfer. You know, we went through all that when he had his amputation. We were in Birmingham last weekend. He had to have an MRI. He has to have a seated MRI because he can't lay down. His back is horrible. But when they were getting him out to transfer, I wanted them to come get me to help me transfer. Let me help them transfer onto the seat and back into his chair. And it was not women there. It was two guys. It was two. They weren't big guys, but they were guys, tall, capable men. Just gonna put that out there.
Should have been anyway.
Okay. So they got him on the table and in the machine. When they got through with this MRI, I don't know. I wasn't back there, so I don't know if the guy stood there beside him or not. Because when he transfers back to his chair, he kind of has to pivot on his foot. They let him fall.
Pissed you off, I'm gonna
No, it didn't.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't, because I know they didn't do it on purpose. They didn't push him down.
Yeah.
Do I feel like he probably was not as close to him as he could have been? Yes. I also know that he may not would have been able to stop him from falling.
Sure.
Because that's a lot of weight coming at you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Big man.
Yeah, so he was back there for a minute because he scratched up his arm, and they already had his arm bandaged up. When the guy came and got me, it really didn't click in my brain what he was saying. He said, "Okay, he's done," and I don't know where my brain was. I don't know what I was hearing. He was telling me that he fell, but I was thinking, okay, well, he's fine. If y'all got him in his chair, he's fine. Well, I walk around the corner, he's sitting in the damn floor, and I'm like, he smiles at me. He said, "Hey," I'm like, "What the hell?" I fell. I'm like, okay, and the guy was like, "What can we do? We can call the fire department?" I said, "No, we're not." And he said, "What? How are we going to get him up?" I said, "We'll get him up." And he's looked at me. Because this dude's probably 6 feet tall that was back there, and Keith's 6 feet tall. The other guy, they were all about 6 feet tall. I said, "You stand on that side of him, and you stand on that side of him, and y'all stabilize him so he don't go from side to side. I'm finna pull him up out of the floor." I grabbed his hand, put his foot in front of my foot so his foot wouldn't slide, and I pulled him up. And he just looked at me like, "How the hell did you do that?" But I said that to say this. If he were married to any other 54-year-old woman in the county that I
Fire
live
department
in,
would have been on the way.
the fire
right?
department would have
Yeah.
had to come and,
Yeah.
and according to who they sent, still may have had trouble getting him up out
Sure.
the floor. So I mean, I can't quit
Sure, yeah.
because
You got somebody to take care of.
Yeah, I've got somebody to take care of.
So, if this is intrusive, you can stop me right off the bat. But I mean, I have an incredibly supportive spouse. She's no longer in powerlifting, but very, very active still. Nathan has an incredibly supportive significant other that's still in powerlifting and knows what we're going through. But where does your husband being special needs now, having been amputated and stuff like that, where does he land at on what you do, how you do it, how often you're doing it and stuff like that? Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't know you were married, but I've only ever seen Tammy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
When
that's
I
not,
competed in Alabama, he went to all my meets. Even after he had his first surgery was just a partial heel amputation. So I think the last meet he actually went to was when I did SummerSlam in Fort Walton. And he still had a wound vac and everything on his heel. But if it's live streamed, if I'm traveling and it's live streamed, he's watching.
Sure.
He's constantly texting me, wanting to know how I've done, and, tells me I'm doing a good job. I wish he would be more involved.
Sure.
Not with me, because he knows what I do. He never tries to hinder my workouts or my training or my travel or anything like that. But I wish he would get more involved. I think it would help his health.
Sure,
Good.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, he's cool with it. I think at first he didn't think it would last. Honestly, I thought he would. I think he thought I would.
Well,
it would
how
just
long
play
have y'all
out.
been married?
26 years.
So, I mean, y'all have been together for a really long time
Yeah.
now, since y'all were in your 20s, right? So,
Yeah.
So, I mean, he obviously sees the benefit. He also obviously supports you and everything like that. But, I mean, it probably is a little crazy being in your 50s now, and your husband's, I'm guessing, the same age, close to
Yeah,
it?
he's 57.
So, I mean, like, he's probably like, I never thought she would do this.
Right.
I never like,
He was still-
not that he would stop you,
He was
but
still
like, you know what I
working
mean?
when I
Like,
first. He was still working when I first started powerlifting, and he caught some shit from the guys in the woods. He was a logger. Well, they was commercial chipping at the time, but his brother owns the company he worked for. He would catch shit from some of the guys in the woods about what I was doing, and I mean, they would just laugh it off. But yeah, it was
but
it's
been,
interesting.
Obviously, it's been kind of life changing for him to some extent because he has a real capable caretaker, and that's important to you and to him.
But
right?
between me working in the medical, which I was admin in the medical field, but you just absorb shit.
Yeah.
You just do.
Yeah.
When you're in that environment 8 hours a day, every day, you absorb things. So being in the medical field and then doing what I do now, yeah, it would be hard for somebody to take care of him. They
Sure.
don't know how to move him around without getting hurt.
Sure.
Without
Yeah.
them getting hurt themselves.
Right.
It never fails when we go to a new doctor and he has to have an x-ray or something or get on an exam table. They'll send us in some skinny ass little nurse that's 8 months pregnant. I'm like, baby, you can't move him. She's like, yes, ma'am. No, you can't. Please, no, I do not need him to fall on you. Let me do this. And so now all the doctors we go to, they don't even ask. I just roll him in and put him on the table or help him get on the table and we do what we do. But
Yeah, this had a pretty profound effect on your everyday life then outside of.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it goes without saying, I guess, at this point. But
I'm
yeah,
pretty,
it's like,
I got my plate. My plate's pretty full.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Plate's full, but so many benefits. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Outside of what,
I know lifting, because everybody says, you got so much going on. How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? I can't not.
can't afford not to.
I can't afford mentally not to.
Well, even physically now, if you're taking care of him like
Yeah,
you
I
are, you know what I
can't.
mean? Like,
It's the only thing that I do that I have to let everything go.
so I got a question about that, but I think I'm going to break to take a leak real quick because I've had too much Terramana. But we'll get back to that here in just a second, if that's okay. I'm gonna step outside.
Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead.
You do your thing.
So no, back into the episode. Sorry for the brief pause. It was my fault. I might have tied one on a little bit. That's what it is. I mean, we're talking about how much it affects your day-to-day life and everything like that. And me and Nathan are new parents. Relatively new. His kid's coming up on a year. Mine's coming up on 8 months next week. I mean, obviously this had a profound effect on your everyday life, being able to take care of your husband and whatnot. So, I mean, I've been very, very stubborn about it. And so is my wife about our gym time's our gym time. If our kid has to witness our gym time, has to be a part of our gym time, it is what it is. But I mean, I guess just speak on more about how this has affected your day-to-day life, but also like the example that we're setting, whether you're a parent or whether you're a caretaker like you are or whatever, the example you're setting to other people that are physically fucking capable of doing something. It doesn't have to be powerlifting, but like the positive impact it has on our lives across the board, like not gym related, like whether it be the example we set to our kids, whether it be you being able to take care of your husband. I mean, I guess just speak more about strength outside of just fucking being strong. You know what I mean?
Outside
Like,
of the gym.
outside of the gym.
Well, with
Yeah, I
physical
mean,
strength, your mental strength comes.
Mhm.
It's going to, because powerlifting, I can't speak for any other lifting sport because it's the only one I've ever done. It's just as mental, sometimes even more so than it is physical. For me.
Mhm.
A
No,
lot.
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
Because I have breakdowns on a regular. Ask Ron, bless his heart. He needs a bonus every year for putting up with my ass. But I get pissed off at people that say, I don't have time. I don't have time. Yeah, you do. How long do you spend scrolling on your phone?
Mhm.
This is
Yeah.
a 24-hour gym, man. You come here anytime you want to.
Right.
1 o'clock in the morning. If you can't sleep, come to the gym.
Right.
I try my best, especially with women. Now, I have a lot of guys. I have a lot of guys that come in. My office is the therapy room in the gym. So the conversations that have gone on in there would spin an episode of reality TV like straight out of the ratings. Especially for women, because women tend to be for the majority of the time one that takes care of the kids, does all the running around,
Sure.
the sports and this and it is hard. And honestly, knowing how busy I was when my kids were little, I don't know if I would have had time. I kind of want to think that I would have made time for it after I realized how important it is. I wish people saw the importance of making that time for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And this is, everybody says it's a big thing. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You fill your cup where you can fill it. Mine's in the gym.
Sure. I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're trying to instill in our daughter that she doesn't have to be a power lifter. She doesn't have to participate in any type of strength sport. Doesn't have to be a bodybuilder.
Just be active.
But we're trying to instill in her that there is something to me time and taking care of yourself
Mm-hmm.
and being a strong, healthy individual, like to the point that we want it to be the same thing as taking a shower or brushing your teeth. It's just something you do.
And
You know what I
women,
mean? Like,
the age that your wives are, your girlfriend, and y'all's age, because y'all are like the age of my children. Old ass. But anyway, that's a bigger thing now than it was at my generation.
Mm-hmm.
sure.
My generation, you took care of the kids. If you worked, cool, because most people my age do or did. But you work and you take care of the kids and you take care of the house and you put yourself last. And I'd always done that. And not saying that was expected of me from my husband, because he's always pushed me to do things for myself. He always wanted my hobby to be his hobby, which was hunting, and I don't care anything about it.
That's fair.
So if I go sit in a shooting house, I'm going to be asleep in about 5 minutes.
Right.
But because he would always say, you don't have any hobbies. I don't have time for a damn hobby. I'm raising 5 kids. I wish more people, men and women, saw the importance of, you got to work. Yeah, you got to provide for your family. But you got to put into yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because mental health issues are a big, big deal. And a lot more men silently suffer with it than we realize. Women are more apt to talk about it more. And I didn't realize it as much as I did until I started powerlifting, and I'm around guys most of the time and working at the gym.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just that, hey, we can talk to Tammy person. So yeah,
Sure.
I get to be counselor, and I can hear him. And it's, God, I had a little guy come in Friday. He'd called me all week, wanting a trainer. I really didn't need to take anybody else, but something just kept telling me, you need to take this guy. You need to take this guy. And he came and sat in my office Friday, and he broke my heart. I was like, he's like 31 years old. His wife left him. They don't have any kids together, but he has stepkids with her that he's helped raise, and he's not getting to see them. He's never been a drinker, and now he's drinking like every night.
Yeah.
And not sleeping. And I said, what do you want to accomplish? He said, I just want to feel good about myself again.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. We're going to do this. And he's like, okay. He's starting on Monday, so here we go.
Those are the type of people that are worth investing in, though. I mean,
Mhm.
that's
The fact that he sees the value in improving himself.
Yeah.
Like that's
a
important.
big step. Yeah.
he's not willing to just lay down and fucking quit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think he was to that point, and I think he was afraid of where he was headed
Mm-hmm.
with that mindset. Because
tequila.
It's good.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's very
No, it's
good.
don't apologize.
Sorry,
don't
not
apologize.
sorry.
I'm a big man. I can handle it.
I wanted to ask, we've talked a lot about Tammy the powerlifter. When did you start judging meets?
When did I start to?
This is something we're pretty profoundly interested in.
Mhm. Yeah.
I did my practical, because once you take the test, once you take, which I took my test under USPA, that's what I started with. Once you take the test, the written part of the test, which is true false, if you're an overthinker, that is a fucked up test. Because when they tell you there are no trick questions, they lie. So after you take the test, you have to do a practical. I mean, you have to sit a meet with a qualified judge. I think they have to be national level, I think, is what the qualifying judge has to be. You have to sit with them and judge so many lifts. They make the call, and you mark on the little paper whether or not you agreed with their call. And then you get your shirt. You get your state shirt. So I was in the Maverick meet, the first Maverick meet. When we had it at Maverick, that place was wrapped up. There were people sitting on top of equipment. Yeah, it was
huge.
I don't even remember what year that was. Was that 2022?
I would say 2021 because
2021.
March of 2022 I had several
I think it was
ladies compete
2021 because
at
I had
the CrossFit gym.
I had my 2 year because after 2 years you can test up in USP. After 2 years you can test up for national, and my 2 years was in June of 2023, so it would have been 2021. So since 2021, as much as I love the staffing side, that part of it, I would rather expedite or run the score table than I had judge. Yes.
Why is that?
And I think it's because I know how I feel when I'm on the platform.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like, and I hate judging. I hate judging people that I'm close to.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to judge Ron if he's competing, and this has happened once, and I did not sign up for his flight because most of the time we have enough that we don't have to judge every flight.
Yeah.
And I know I could be. I mean, I know I could do my job. I don't have any doubt. I just didn't want to.
Right.
And I don't like judging Avery.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're like best friends. And I did judge her on practicals because she actually did that. She actually did that meet.
What an awesome person.
Yeah, I love
Avery.
Avery.
Just like an awesome person.
Her and Richard were lifesavers to me when Keith had when he had his amputation and when I broke my collarbone the day after I had surgery. They both came to the house and brought us dinner, and she did Keith's wound care and helped me change my dressing because I broke my left side, but I couldn't use my right hand a lot. I couldn't reach across my body because any compression to my body. Oh my God, yes. So yeah, her and Richard are amazing. But yeah, since 2021.
So what's a big thing that you look for when you're judging? Like obviously we know
all three lifts basically.
Like we know what the standard is, but like let's say you're side judging squats. Like, where are you staring? Like, what are you focusing on?
If you see me side judge squats or bench, I'm on the floor. Because I got a better eye level. As a judge, if anything is blocking the lifter, especially, and this is especially so on squats,
because of side spots.
If they're blocking, you got to give it. You're supposed to give it to the lifter, unless it's blatant.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you can blatantly see. I mean, if they're top of their leg is at this angle, they didn't hit death. But I'm looking for that hip crease, and it's really, really hard to tell. Everybody wants to have a black singlet because black is slimming. This ain't no beauty pageant, and I can't see your hip crease because I have a black singlet as well. And every time I go on, on the platform, I'm thinking, I got to get my ass on the floor because they're not really going to be able to see it.
I encourage people with doubtful depth to wear a striped singlet at least. Yeah,
exactly. I almost wish they would, they had someone on the staff that would come back and mark everybody's hip crease with some, alternate colored chalk. But
so I was about to say chalk up or powder.
It's really, really hard. And if I have any doubt, I'm gonna give it to the lifter. I mean, if it's borderline and I have any doubt and I have to think about it more than 2 seconds, the lifter's getting it. Because if I have to think about it that long, it's that close. Because I'm on the floor. I'm eye level. Watch for that. I watch for on squats, especially if they move their feet, because I got caught with that, on the first one. Downward motion, you kind of got to watch out of the corner of your eye because really you're watching depth.
Right.
I think from the side is the main thing. I hate head judging, so I don't do it very often because my voice doesn't carry that well anymore. As I've gotten older, it's gotten deeper, and I'm sure the TRT probably has aided in that too. So I feel like I'm having to just. If I had head judge any, I can't talk the next day.
Right.
And then everybody already picks on poor Marcus for his accent, and I know mine would even be worse. So I just don't want to put myself out there for that. So there you go.
Marcus does a fine job.
I love Marcus. He is precious. But he and I both have a really, really country accent when we're on the platform. Bench. Constantly, the main thing I watch for on bench, and this may be crazy, it doesn't have anything to do with the bar. I watch their ass to see if it comes off the bench.
Yeah.
If I can see the other judge under your butt, you getting a red light. And then out of the corner of my eye, I'm watching. Of course, I'm watching for downward motion on the bar.
Is that frustrating to you as a judge? Because as a coach, like, I'm not sending a lifter out there with a weight that I feel like their hips are going to rise on.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's like. And also, like, that's going to be hammered so much in fucking prep
But you've got
that if there's a couple of ways to make me I'm really, really, Nathan as my witness, I'm extremely kind to my lifters. You want to see me just fucking pop a fuse, though? Miss a command or let your fucking butt rise on the bench. Like, that's
a lot of these lifters, though, and I didn't realize how prevalent this was, don't have coaches.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, because we had a guy show up for state that didn't even have a singlet.
Oops.
Yeah, I mean, he came in his shorts and tank top, and Heidi was running around, backstage, trying to find him a singlet, so he could compete.
Did he get one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean,
I'm surprised somebody had a spare.
I'm one of those overly prepared coaches that bring spare socks and singlets for my lifters.
But I mean, the powerlifting community, y'all know how good it is. Yeah. Everybody, they're going to help. I mean,
for sure.
If they've got something. I have a guy that works at my gym. He helps me clean the gym. He actually did a meet, and I didn't even know he was going to do one, or I went and watched him because he had talked to me about it. And I don't even know which federation it was. It wasn't WRPF. And I want to say it was probably USAPL. I'm not sure. But the night before he was supposed to go to the meet, he's like, I didn't know you had to have a singlet. And I'm like, did you not read the rule book? Did somebody not brief you on, and I didn't even know he was getting ready for one, or I would have told him.
Right.
Because he said nothing. I mean, he had talked to me about it a couple of times, and I looked up records for him at his age and weight class, but he never said, hey, I'm signing up for this meet.
Right.
What all do I need to have? But yeah, it amazes me at how many people
show up to meets
without coaches, and then they miss things that would have been so simple to fix. Mm-hmm. And then there are people that show up with coaches, and that coach has let them go this whole freaking prep doing that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty religious. Nathan and Austin might get a pass because of experience, but I'm one of those people, 4 weeks out, if you're not practicing commands, I'm probably a little pissed off at you. Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit if it's a set of 3. You need a fucking start command.
Everybody needs a block with Ron and his asshole seconds, because when he counts Paul's seconds, your 5 seconds may be 15.
Absolutely.
But that's how my grip has gotten stronger, because my grip has been so bad on deadlifts that after every heavy, sometimes we do it at the end of every whatever, if I've got 5 reps or 2 reps or singles or whatever, I have to have 5-second hold. Yeah. His 5 seconds are not 5 seconds. And he'll just grin. That was more like 8. I'm like, yeah, okay, 15, but whatever. But yeah, you got to practice commands. I do that with my little guy that I'm coaching. And that he had trouble at this last meet. He did state, and we thought the head judge was picking on him because she was giving everybody else these really quick press commands, and his was like 4 full seconds. And he was getting in his head and he even asked me, why is she picking on me? And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm getting pissed off because I'm thinking, does this lady have beef with me? I'd never met her before. I'm like, she got beef with me for some reason, because I'm finna find out. I was Mama Hen was coming out.
Right.
It
does when you're coaching.
I had even had several people ask me, what is her deal with Lucas and his press commands? The only person that noticed what was going on was Richard. Richard was side spotting, and after bench Lucas was in his head so bad he wanted to go home, and I'm like, no, baby, we don't quit. You got a deadlift. You can get that shit out of your head. That's over. You got one. You're still in the meet. This was a deadlift meet for you anyway, so we're good. After we benched, Richard came to the back, and he and Avery were about to leave. He said, hey, I'm gonna tell you what was wrong with Lucas's bench, and he told us he would touch, but then he would sink, and she can't give you the press command till the bar still.
Yeah.
And where I was sitting, I'd never seen him do it in prep. I'd never seen it on any of his videos from prep. But from where I was sitting behind him, watching him, I didn't see it. But Richard saw it, and of course she saw it. Mm-hmm. And then we both felt better because we knew it wasn't personal.
Right.
Yeah. As a coach, you get fucking colored glasses on, right? Like my team colors are black and gold, and that's what I'm seeing on league day. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and an apology might be coming. But I recently, speak on this because I know this has got to be hard. Like, I had a lifter at Ultimate Warrior. I think you were on the platform for it, judging, and I'm not mad at you at all. but missed a deadlift because of soft locking his knees. And basically what was happening is when he locked out his deadlift, he was leaning so far back that his knees broke. And I told him, and I do to this day still think the third lift was good. But what I'm about to say is the second lift wasn't. Second lift, he definitely leaned back, definitely had soft knees, and that sets a fucking precedence for what y'all were seeing.
Yeah, because if we see it...
If you see it the first time, you're going to see it the second.
Because I saw it. You know what I mean?
Like,
and I didn't red light him on the second one. And then...
But I mean, because you're playing both sides, and I know this is something, not playing both sides, I shouldn't say that, but because you've been on both sides, I mean, how difficult is it to see a big lift like that and be like,
wasn't
I'm
standard.
fucking sorry, dude. Like,
it's
you know what I mean?
hard.
Like, because you've been on both sides of that. Like,
yes,
there's very few of us that have been on both sides.
It is so hard. I do not like red lighting anyone. And there have been people on the platform that I really don't care for. There are a few people around in this area. We can probably speak
more on that outside of the podcast.
I mean, seriously, there are a few lifters that I'm just not really fond of them. That first impressions are a big thing with me. And if you make a bad first impression, it takes a long time for me to get over that. And even those people, I don't like giving red lights. I don't.
I mean, I told them simply, and I think this is true, like, if you fuck up earlier in the meet, you are setting a precedence for them to look for something. Like, okay, this guy has soft knees at lockout. Now we're looking for soft knees. So now if there's any question, now all of a sudden, soft knees, no lift, like it is what it is. Like,
and if they move any bit, even if it's not a complete break, if they move any.
By the same token, had his second lift been good, I think the third lift probably would have been good, to be completely honest with you. But I'm not mad about it because that I wouldn't necessarily human error, but like when you put it in somebody's head that this has happened,
because now
we're looking for it.
Yeah, because we got
now
3 seconds to
now we're looking for it. Like this guy had soft knees last time, now we have to look for this. You know what I mean? I don't really get pissed off about that, but like I mean, I can imagine it's probably really fucking awful as a coach, as a judge, and as a lifter to see it from 3 points of view, which is rare. And you get to see it from 3 points of view. It's like, I've seen meets where that would have been the best deadlift of the day. And I've also seen meets where that had been the worst deadlift of the day. I mean, it just is what it is. But like, when you set a precedence for something, like you are dealing in human error. So if you give somebody something to look for, at that point, it's your fault as a lifter. And that's been a really difficult conversation to have with Austin. But like, hey, second lift was dog shit, dude. Like, I'm glad you pulled it up, but like, it was undoubtedly 100% soft knees. And then when you go pull that third one, yeah, I thought it was a good lift, but it doesn't matter because now you've set a precedence for soft knees. Like, that is what it is. Like,
I don't remember which lifter it was at Maverick. It might have been Max. Was it Max? No, it wasn't Max. I don't remember who it was. They locked out so hard on their deadlifts that it caused the bar to move.
And it caused downward motion.
Yeah, it caused him to rock.
Yeah.
Because he locked out so hard, come through his body like an aftershock. And they red lighted him.
That sucks.
I was coaching at that meet, so I wasn't on the platform.
Yeah, I mean that sucks, but I mean the rules are the rules for a reason. Like, that's what separates us from CrossFit and strongman, right? Like,
and bodybuilding.
You know, I mean,
everybody's opinion.
Bodybuilding.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like,
there
has to be rules in place. I'm not mad at the rules at all, but I mean, it's a very unique perspective, and very few of us have it from all three perspectives. And I
get more anxious judging than I do competing.
Can I ask? Do you know why Ron doesn't judge?
He's got too much on his plate.
Too much on his plate. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, every meet I've ever gone to, Ron's had fucking four or five people there. You know what I mean?
Usually, especially the local stuff, because he would. I mean, assuming that he ever did it, it would be logistically impossible to do outside of Alabama. Because his schedule is so busy, and nearly every meet that happens in Alabama, he has multiple lifters because a lot of his people only compete locally. Especially the ones that he trains one-on-one there. But he's kind of, and we do have like Marcus is a coach, and he can judge a flight and coach a flight. I'm not there yet. If I'm coaching, I'm coaching.
I don't know that I would take a meet as a judge, and I'm working toward that. I don't know that I would take a meet as a judge that I had more than one lifter in.
Yeah.
I just right now I can't. Now I might get to the point, if Lucas stays with me, he continues to grow, he gets more confident in what he's doing. I could do,
I personally want my coach or handler there. Mm-hmm. Now Ron was very, very open with me about the last time I competed, and he was like, I'm probably not going to be able to handle you, dog, because I got, at that, it was his meet. It was a Maverick meet. Yeah. He was like, there's 10 of you. Yeah. Like, no offense, but like, you have the most experience because of your coaching prowess. Like, you're probably not a priority. That not to say that he didn't want me to do good. He definitely did. But like, being honest, you're not my priority that day. Like, you're gonna need another handler. Yeah. Nathan handled me, but like, I want somebody there. Yeah. That's the thing. And like, I don't want to not be there for my lifters. You know what I mean? We experienced somebody very, very good whose coaches wasn't there this past time, and it's fucking stressful at all levels. And that will remain nameless in the public forum because of respect for everybody. But it's stressful to not have some type of help present. Like, Ron was very, very good in saying like, hey, if you got somebody you trust, bring them on.
And I did. Like, I had that in my first meet. Terrell was there. Yeah. And then the guys that had helped me at the gym that were competitors, one of them was competing that day and one of them was not, and they were both there. So I had help in the warm-up room, even though my coach wasn't there. Yeah. And in his defense, in the coach's defense, when I signed up with him, I think he had prior engagements, and I knew it wasn't going to be there. Yeah. So,
my first coach, he's from Nevada. Right. So like, he was never going to be there. Yeah. Like, I knew that. I went in and knew that. My best friend handled me. Ended up getting hurt, so it didn't matter. But like, it was fine. But I want somebody to be there. You know what I mean? It is what it is. As a lifter, like, it may just be from a purely, like, as a coach, I'm paying attention all the time to everything that's going on. I know when my lifter's got to be up, stuff like that. But as a lifter, I'm like,
you don't want to think
I got my headphones in. Yes. Like, I don't want to think anything about, what I'm lifting, how much I've ate, and how much I've drank that day is the only three fucking things I want to worry about.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. But
because it's mental enough just having to be there and perform.
I don't know. I just feel like your perspective is unique because so few of us do all three. Yeah, and that's hard.
There's a few. Well,
there's a few here, but it's probably not.
It's not very many.
There's probably and I believe that you're a good coach, but there's probably a fine line between those of us who are good at coaching and can be good at judging and everything else.
And competing.
Yeah. Have their own shit to worry about. I would be shocked if I saw Les on the platform. Judging. You know what I mean? Like, would do that, but I would never do that with more than one lifter. Yeah. You saw me when I had 4 or 5 at Ultimate Warrior, and like, I think you were maybe my only saving grace, but I was a fucking wreck.
I felt like I was hearing you chatting your ear off.
No, it was so much help. It was so much help. But like, and then as a coach too, you have this weird thing of like, do you want all your lifters to be in one flight or do you want them spread out?
Right.
No, I'm going to tell you right now, you want them all in one flight because you're not going to get any type of fucking break if you have one in every fucking flight.
The first meet that I coached, I had 2, and it was at Maverick, and they were in separate. Were they in separate flights? Hell, I don't know.
Was that this last one that I coached with you? Okay.
Yeah, at Maverick. Yeah, they were in. I think they were in separate flights. But it was, because they warmed up at separate times. I ran my ass. I'm telling you what, I was a tired heifer at the end of the day.
That speaks to, and I do a lot of Ron Askeson on this show. But and he knows it. No, I think he's a little ashamed of it. That's okay. He can be ashamed of it if he wants to be. But that's one of the great things about Ron is Ron manages fucking meet day stress incredibly fucking well.
Yes, he does.
And honestly, to have a good enough handler like Nathan handling me, to be able to take some stress off of Ron is really fucking kind of a relief to me too, because I don't want fucking a stressed out opinion from my coach. You know what I mean? Like, I need fucking real talk, or we're not gonna fucking, like that's what I need. But I mean, it is what it is. But he is. I've spoken a lot, but that dude is a genius at calling attempts. I'm not so sure that I wouldn't want him calling attempts if he wasn't even coaching me. I would be like, hey, dude, these are my openers. let me fucking know what you think. Like, if you got time to watch it, let me know what I'm going to next. Like, I would just about put that on him.
When
honestly.
I did that before dishonor, in Oklahoma was my third meet with him, I think. Yeah, my third. Maggie, which is Derek. What's his last name? Thistledown? Death Grip?
Thistlethwaite?
Thistlethwaite. There you go. Okay. It's his wife. We were head to head.
She's kind of bad. I can't lie to you. She's really good.
Yeah, and she's gorgeous. But we were head to head, and I really got to watch Ron's mad scientist mathematical
Did you beat her?
lift calling. No, I did not. But
that would have felt
had
good
I-
because
had-
that is a fucking character in powerlifting.
it was.
right
I think it was only like a 5 kilo difference. It was very. It was really low.
If that ever
But
comes up again, just let it be known we were rooting for you.
we were close, and I missed my third squat for depth. I'll never forget it. I was at that time. I would
Was Ron there, or were you?
No. He was there. I would not. I won't travel without him.
That's fair.
If he can't go, I'm not going.
That's fair. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah. When I missed my third squat for depth, and got into bench.
That put it in the award, didn't it?
Yeah. We got into deadlifts, and we were right there up till our third attempt deadlift, and he said, if you pull this third one and she misses, you got it. It's yours.
Yeah.
But I pulled mine. I got it. But he said, I just don't think she's got it. He said, they did a pretty nasty jump. He said, honestly, I think you got it. And I'm like, man, I'm not. I've seen some strange shit happen on third attempt deadlifts. Yeah, she pulled it. But I saw watching him that day. I'm like, that. I think I had already had people ask me about coaching, and I'm like, I just don't feel comfortable. I hadn't done it long enough. I don't think I would be a good coach. And when I saw him do that day, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of he inspired me to hire him.
Constantly on his phone, crunching numbers, looking at the board, and
he inspired me to hire him because he beat my wife
with Monet
at
Queens of the Beach
because of and called up a number Monet had never even fucking seen on the bar before, and I was like, you know what? I should hate him, but I fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like he knows what he's doing, and they ended up beating Sandy by like 7.5 kilos, and I was like, and it was for second because in the same weight class was
Liz
Roboto. Yeah, absolutely. And any opinions on that will be left off the podcast.
I feel like you've already said
as well.
your opinion
I've
on
said that opinion on that.
before, but
But anyway, that inspired me to hire Ron. But I've been around Ron a lot, and as a brand new coach, I was at a USAPL meeting, Gardendale, of all places. Had a couple of new lifters, and this is my like 4th or 5th meet coaching. And I was fortunate at that time that I had enough strong girls that up to that point, we had just run shot over every meet we had gone to. We had just fucking smoked everybody. So it was like, at this point, we get to deadlifts and we're like, we're not smoking everybody this time. We need like something big. And I had a girl warming up and she was getting I'd never heard this. I know this is so simple and so stupid, but it seems so stupid now, but at the time it wasn't. She was having a problem getting in her warm-ups, getting her bar would get stuck on her thighs. Couldn't lock it out because
you get sweaty and
everything else. He's like,
yeah.
Bro, just baby powder her legs. And I'm like, you know what? This guy is nice enough to come over to see what's happening and come over and talk to me about this as another coach and just help me. Like, he's probably one of the other girls that are in front of us right now. Like, he probably doesn't have to tell me this, but he just says, man, just baby powder her legs.
Yeah, he could have been that shithead coach.
He could have been a shithead. And he's like,
this fucker don't know, so I'm not going to tell him.
And there was like several other instances, like smaller instances, like in other meets where Ron would show up and out of nowhere, it seems like, and help me or one of my lifters. And I'm like, this guy just made a lasting impression on me. Like,
yeah, the meet that I did, that I coached myself, we don't have kilo plates. And I had always trained at Express. We got mixed, matched, just freedom unit plates, pound plates. And we were at Diamond K, so even the warm up room had kilos.
Yeah.
And Terrell was there with me, trying to help me warm it up. We was, we had a kilo chart in my hand. We were trying to say, okay, this weight is this plate, this plate. It was, and Ron came over there, and he would, every time I needed something, he would just say, okay, what does she need? And he'd tell him, just right out what to put on the bar. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fixing to contact the right guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I already knew I wanted to, and I'm like, I think I may have already talked to him by then. We were waiting till after that meet.
There's very few people that have, as a coach, that has that much confidence in a warm-up room, calling numbers for his lifters on the platform, like everything like that. He just does it. It's just like no fucking big deal.
It's like breathing to him.
Yeah, it is. It's like breathing to him. And I'm not a lifter that gets super pumped up about anything. Like, you're never going to see me like celebrate hard or like do some dumb setup, deadlift setup, but something like, I don't have this like fucking deadlift ritual or anything like that. I do my shoulder shimmy and I get down and I pick it up. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, I'm just not like super energetic lifter, but something about Ron being behind your fucking platform.
Oh yeah.
And knowing that if you pick it up, Ron's going to jump to the ceiling.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Like, it does fucking pump me up.
When I watch the videos back, I look at him before I do at what I did, especially my training videos. I'll watch his face, and I know when that smile. Okay.
I tell you what,
you did your thing today, girl.
One of the most intimidating rooms in powerlifting I've ever been in is me, you, and Ron are squatting together.
Well, that was before SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was before SummerSlam, but I was prepping for the Maverick, one of his meets, and I came down there to lift with y'all, and you had some god-awful heavyweight on the bar.
No, what was on like 320, 340?
No, it was up like 350, 360, and it was like for a double or something, and I was like, fuck. This old lady's going to out-squat me if I don't get what I'm supposed to do. And then Ron is between us.
Yeah, his
and has 622, and it's supposed to go for like 3 to 5. And he hits it for 4, and I'm like, well, I can't be a bitch now. I got to do this. But I think I was more intimidated in that moment than I've ever been, like, on the platform as a coach or as a lifter or anything like that. I'm like, well, fuck. Like, I just saw this 50-year-old woman do this, and my coach just did, 150 more pounds than me, and did it for twice as many reps as I got scheduled. And we got to figure this the fuck out. Like, but it was a good time. That room really is special.
It is. There's the energy. Yeah. The energy in that room is just different. It's different.
It might not be the room. It might actually be Ron.
I've been down there and trained without him, and you may be right.
Yeah, it may just be
I've
Ron.
come on days when he's, had to be off or whatever.
This is another Ron worship podcast, I guess. But the dude's just fucking good. Like,
he's genuinely a good.
He's a good
guy.
person. Yeah,
he's a good person.
Yeah, he's a good person for sure. I think Nathan's been around him enough now to know that.
Yeah, he was on the podcast, and it was really good talk to him. I wish I could have went out afterwards, but baby stuff couldn't really.
We did a whole lot of bullshitting afterwards, but big baseball guy. And he's actually one of my training partners now, but Brody plays college baseball and stumbled upon us when we were setting an alpha, like shooting the shit. And, got to talk to him. I got to know a lot more about Ron because of baseball and shit like that. But it's a good thing. So what else? We've kind of been on a lot of tangents.
Yeah.
What else do you have for Tammy? Because I mean, you're the question giver, not me. I'm the rabbit chaser.
I chase rabbits a lot too. So
I kind of don't have anything else. I guess I should have written stuff down because I was thinking about it last night, but also I was at work, so it was like, where do I find time to write these questions down? So I don't really have anything else to.
That's fine.
Ask.
I mean, what advice do you got to new lifters, old lifters, like fucking anybody that's willing to listen to you?
Just go have fun. Don't put pressure on yourself. I do. I mean, I'm guilty. I can speak it, but I don't practice it very well. I hear a lot of people say, I'd like to do that. I think I'd like to do that, but this is what I lift. This is what I bench. This is what I squat. Do you think it's good enough? If you're lifting the down bar, it's good enough. Mm-hmm. That's the minimum you got to lift is the bar.
It seems like I struggle with men more than women on this, but like I have men all the time tell me, I have a kid in the pocket that's like, when I tell you he's really good, like he's a 242 and might go 1,800 pounds his first meet. Like he's really fucking good. And he's like, I don't want to compete until I have this, and this. And I'm like, Evan, Like,
Mm-mm.
brother, you're already like, you can go right now unpeaked and break state records. Like, calm down. Like, it's not that it's not that fucking serious. Like, at the end of the day, we do this because it brings us joy. Just like, go compete. And if you get your ass drugged, me and you'll talk about it afterwards, and we'll figure out a way to not get your ass drugged next time. I mean, it is what it is. But there's like this underlying expectation for people just starting. Like, I don't want to be on the platform until I can total 1,200 pounds. Like, for women, it seems like 700 or 800, depending on the weight class. Is like, I want 700 or 800 before I compete. Like,
I didn't.
Iron sharpens iron, man. Just go fucking find out.
I didn't
like, let's
have
go
that at my first meet. My first meet. First of all, I did not know I can compete in Open and Masters. I did not know that. Once again, didn't read the rule book all the way. Didn't ask questions. Wasn't informed. So I just only signed up for Masters, and I'm not a real big fan of participation trophies. I think that was the downfall of society where it began.
Yeah, there's just like pocket in powerlifting where like if you show up, you'll get you'll win your weight class.
That was a big thing for me. I was like, well, damn, I kept watching. I'm like, I don't want to be the only one. I don't want to be the only one. I don't want to be the only one. And I was like, I felt like that was going to take the competitiveness out of me because I didn't feel like I would have to push myself. I found the records. That can be my competition. Yeah,
like
the records.
You always have a record book competing.
Yeah, the records can be my competition. Yeah, that is until you set them,
I'm
and
guessing
they're all yours, and then you're competing against yourself again.
Yeah, but
which is what I'm doing right now. Well, now I run
on the master level.
Yeah, on the master level. Now I run after the open. I think I have the open squat. I think I have the open squat for the state, and I have world for masters. And I have national for masters. But yeah, that was a hard thing.
That record book's always going to be there.
Yeah,
whether it's you or somebody else.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm at the end of the year, January 1st of the year after December 31st. I'm on openpowerlifting.org to see where I stood the year before.
Us boys have an opinion about masters level lifting, and I think that the opinion is if you're capable of competing open, regardless of what age you are, you should compete open. Yeah, absolutely. But I also think that there's underlying pressure for us men in particular that open is open and that's real competition. And then masters is, you're just giving yourself an attaboy because you compete both. How do you feel about that? Cause I have heard other male lifters like snicker about a master's total, you know what I mean? Or something, or a master's record of any type really. But like, yeah, he has a record in, submasters, but he never wins in open or whatever it may be. Like, what's your opinion on competing two ways? Like, you know what I mean? Because like there is like a stigma for us dudes that like if we can compete open, we just need to compete open.
Yeah. In Olympia, I couldn't compete in masters. It was an open event. Yeah. And I'm not even going to say if, I'm going to say when now because Ron hasn't instilled that in my brain. When I get the dots to be invited to American Pro or Ghost Clash or whatever, it's going to be an open meet. It will be a master's division. I compete in open for the competition. Yeah. Masters,
and we should.
And I don't want to say masters is always a given for me because it's not. Because I have competed in nationals. The year that I did nationals, I was second. I was second and third. I podiumed, but I didn't win. Even in the masters class, there was there were better lifters. So, if you can, I just do both. Yeah. I mean, it's for the competition. Yeah. And a lot of times it's for the fuck you. Yeah, I'm old. I got old records, but I got open records too. Yeah. So kiss my ass.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that I have a submasters athlete, and he's like really worried about setting new submasters records, and that's fine. But like, I also tell him all the time is like, I'm cool with that because a record's a record that's set for a reason. But I'm also like, man, Joey, you're good enough to compete open. You can win, even if you don't set records. You can win these local and state level meets open. You should compete open. But it's not like, I don't really think that there's like some type of discredit. I don't really view there being a discredit for competing in your age class. And, I have a, and he's been on the podcast before, but I have a, can't even say elderly because he's incredibly fit for his age, but I have two people, actually 3 if you include the other Tammy. I have 2 men that compete 60 plus, and they don't ever do open. But like, somebody has to set that record. Like that doesn't. He's in his 60s in powerlifting, man. Like let the man have his fucking record. I don't care if it's a 280 pound squat. Like, what other 60 something year old do you know that's doing this? Like, the dude's better himself. So I don't like. Maybe past a certain point, there's no pressure like that. But somebody that just moved up to submasters, I do feel compelled and pressured to compete both ways. And I don't think
that's all you've been doing is open. Your whole powerlifting career, you've competed open.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's there.
I can still go in local and state. We're not talking about national records, but I can still go and win open. But like, somebody's got to set those fucking submasters records. It might as well be.
They even have
I'm fucking paying for it.
You know what I mean? Now.
Like
Masters only meets now.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to set that fucking record. Like, I don't really think it's something to sneer at or joke about or anything like that.
No, because how many people, especially when you get on
big deal, I'm fucking 35. Like, I'm 35 and I just bench pressed 430 pounds. Like, what did you fucking do at 35 years old?
It's
you know, like,
and once you get, 45, 50, and I'm closer to 55 now, how many other women are actually doing what I do?
Fucking nobody.
And,
you know what I mean? Like, nobody.
It's, you gotta, first of all, you gotta be a little bit crazy, but that's beside the point. That's a whole nother show. But because I get down on myself a lot. Ask any of my lifting buddies that I whine to on a regular basis, and my coach included. Because I have a conversation at my gym that I have with a friend of mine from a little further south in Alabama. And I messaged him one day and I was like, why am I doing this? Tell me why I'm doing this. So I'm beating myself up. I'm just wrecking my body like week after week at my age for what? He sends me back this paragraph this long, addressing every whining point that I had with something positive. And at the end of it, he said, just go do the fucking work.
Yeah.
So, because
you already know
you're made to do this.
It pays off outside of the gym.
Yeah, it does. But we all have those moments. You have a bad day, you don't do as well as you think you should, get down, but you can turn it around. For
sure. What do you got for?
Is it
time for dad jokes?
I think it's time for dad jokes. Have you got dad jokes?
I do not have dad jokes. I sent you dad jokes this week.
You did, yeah.
I sent some pretty dark dad jokes this week. It's like my humor.
I never have dad jokes.
My humor is a little out there. The vitamin was kind of. Was it you? I think I may have sent it to the page. Page. Yeah. I usually, because if I ever find them, I try to send them to that page.
First thing I open up is Ron. That's the first thing I see when I open up my phone.
Why did the duck go to jail?
Why?
You don't know? Or are you just going to let me? Because he was selling quack.
That's pretty fucking good.
No, it's not.
No, it's funny. That's kind of the point of dad jokes. Right. It's not good.
It's not one of those. Damn, did he just say that?
Yeah.
Never date a tennis player because love means nothing to them.
One day I changed a light bulb, crossed the road, and walked into a bar, and that's when I realized my whole life was a joke.
Damn it. Elevators terrify me. I'm taking steps to avoid them.
Yep.
Buh.
I called the bowling alley and asked them if they had 16-pound balls. They said yes, so I asked them how they walk.
My friend asked me, my kid refuses to eat fish. What do you think is a good replacement? And I said, cats. Cats eat fish.
I must have missed that whole joke. I was like,
no, this is such a lame one not to repeat. I said, my friend said, my kid refuses to eat fish. What do you think is a good replacement? I said, cats. Cats love fish.
Cats love fish.
Oh my God. They have so many pictures on theirs now. What's the deal with this?
I've noticed that too. Did you hear about the perfume manufacturer who closed because they were only breaking even on their products?
I did not.
They said it makes no sense to make sense for no sense.
My daughter asked me if I've ever seen the dog, if I had seen the dog bowl, and I said no, I didn't even know he could. That's a dad joke if I've ever fucking heard
I
one.
heard that one this week. Did you say that one last week? Did you do that one last week?
I don't know. I may have. I'll repeat
That one
myself a
sounds
lot.
familiar.
My wife and I laugh at how competitive we are, but I laugh more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm done. That's it.
What do you call a drink that hurts?
I don't know.
Champagne.
Damn. You know what doesn't hurt?
Tequila. Terrible.
I was drinking a beer and the bartender yelled, "Does anyone know CPR?" I replied, "I know the entire alphabet." Everyone laughed. Well, except this one guy.
Yeah,
Damn,
well, there's
dude.
that one. That's a wrap, y'all.
Yeah,
Well,
that was the last one.
that's pretty much the show with Miss Tammy Mims today. I hope we covered everything that y'all wanted to hear.
No. If not, we
think
can
we
always
did.
just bring her back. Yeah.
Bring her back. Yeah,
Probably
that's a good
chased
time.
a lot of rabbits. They may be confused as hell when they listen. So.
Nah, I think it was pretty straightforward. I think it was good. Yeah, we had a good conversation. It was fun.
No more rabbits than we normally chase.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever
I
heard,
enjoy the rabbit chasing.
if you've ever heard
Hey.
me and Nathan on our own, and I'm like good and drunk, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this.
We talking about
This-
CrossFit again?
Well,
I just want to know what they're gonna do because I still can't reveal the name of this client, but I just want to know how they're gonna feel when I start owning them at their own sport too.
uh-oh.
And the cancer, I mean, it's really a local thing, man. I mean, it
Mhm.
really is. Like, this guy's smart enough to seek outside help, whether or not I'm gonna answer or not, doesn't fucking matter. Like, but the fact that you have basically one-on-one coaching in your gym all the time,
Mhm.
and you're still having clients seek out external help should be indicative of where the state of that sport is locally.
Mhm.
I know it's not across Alabama. I know it's not across the Southeast or even nationally, but like they lack something.
Yeah.
Proof's in the pudding. So I just can't wait to fucking beat them at their own game because supposedly I can't do it. So,
Oh, okay.
Supposedly
Supposedly you couldn't, as a powerlifting coach, take a person to a bodybuilding show, but they placed second. So,
we did that. Thanks to Miss Tammy, I have another really good body. I'm really excited
He is
about
a
Jack.
super nice guy.
He's a super nice guy, super hardworking. He's in a little bit of a pickle because he didn't see proper PT post surgery.
Mm.
So I'm basically having to act as his physical therapist too. But like we do everything like, and I'm confident in the ability of him to go and compete. To be completely honest with you,
We actually have a guy in our gym that coaches bodybuilders and
Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, well,
Listen, I mean,
there's another story behind that as
I
well.
don't know how you feel about this because maybe you don't have necessarily this frame of mind, but me and Nathan talk about this often. 9 months of the year, we're bodybuilders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We will always claim the title of powerlifter.
Your accessory work is bodybuilding work.
But if we don't have a meet on the calendar, we're bodybuilders.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only way to make this sustainable. That's the only way to keep ourselves healthy. Like you can't get under 85+% week in, week out all fucking year long and expect to be better or expect to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
you
But
can't do it.
like I think that's been good for me and moving over to bodybuilding coaching some.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something, in terms of aesthetics, I'm the least fucking qualified person ever. But it's still like it's calories in, calories out, and did we put muscle in your frame?
Well, like you said,
Like-
Nick Saban didn't go to the NFL.
He didn't, yeah. I mean, he didn't. Like,
There
you know,
you go.
like it is. I mean, it is what it is. But like, I'm excited to be coaching new sports, man. Bodybuilding and Olympic lifting now. I have a pretty good bit of history in Olympic lifting, but I'm kind of invigorated by having an Olympic lifter because it's just different. It's fun lifts, man. They're so dynamic. It's so fun to watch. Like when I was in the gym coaching him today, I was like, because everyone like having to catch that stuff and the positions you have to catch it in and everything like that is so much different than powerlifting. and not necessarily say that the sport's better because obviously my heart's in powerlifting, but like the break is it's pretty fucking refreshing. It's
Yeah.
pretty exciting. I can't lie to you. I'm excited to see what he does in his meet. I think that we're gonna have or what do y'all call it? It's not a meet in CrossFit. Competition, I guess. It's just
It might be
competition.
Just competition.
I mean,
Event.
you know, whatever
Something
it may
like
be, but like, yeah, little scrawny
Something.
185-pound kid, like clean and jerk 265 a day with ease. So I think
That
we're
makes
gonna
my
see.
elbows hurt just saying those words.
I think this little dude's gonna honestly clean and jerk deep into the 300s. I think that's in the
impressive.
cards. That's fucking. Think about somebody 185 pounds putting over 300 pounds over their head. Like he's kind of a fucking bad dude. To be
That's
completely
cool.
honest with you, it's a different type of exciting, and it's fun to. I mean, I think that's my most in terms of personal training, and in terms of everything else I do. That my biggest competition is a CrossFit gym right now, at least here. I think we all know that I have bigger competition. The coaches I'm rubbing elbows with in powerlifting are fucking huge names.
Mm-hmm.
And to rub elbows with them, with Ron and Les and people like that, and go compete against them and be successful every now and then feels pretty fucking good. But to be able to do it in multiple sports,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty excited
And
about
going
that.
up to nationals.
Yeah.
Huh?
Going up to nationals.
Yeah,
is
for the
cool.
first
Seeing-
time. Yeah, I
seeing
mean,
Joe and
Things are
all those
going well
people.
here in Coleman, Alabama. I can't lie to you.
not too bad.
I mean, not bad at all. I mean, sorry about bragging about myself, but I'm fucking
okay.
excited. I'm just
Hey,
excited.
it's
I'm
time.
excited. You know what I mean? It's
Do it.
it is what it is. I guess that's the show, huh?
That is the show. So, where can they find us, Zach?
You can find
Once
us
again.
at Sip It and Rip It, at Nathan Skedios, at Coleman_Barbell, at Tammy.Mims.
Right.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, rate us 5 stars, give us comments, stuff like that on those. And then you can subscribe to us on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
watch us there. Give us thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, whatever you want to do. Really, any traffic for us is good traffic. It
Any
doesn't matter,
traffic is good.
good or bad. Just weigh in, tell
Mhm.
us what you know. So
If you just put like random letters in the comments, it's still good for us.
Random letters.
just
Random
fucking-
letters, random words. They
let
could
your-
just.
You're like, hey, these guys are fucking assholes. I don't care. Like, as long as there's a comment on there.
I will reply to the comment. Hey, thanks for commenting. We'll take your feedback and implement it into the next episode.
And we might mock you.
we will bring it up in the next episode.
if
Like,
we
hey,
if
had
we
a comment.
find you, if you leave us a nasty comment on YouTube and we find you on Instagram and just roast you the next episode, that's part of it. Like,
I'm terrible about not commenting, but I've listened to every episode.
That's okay. That's good enough.
that's good enough. That's good enough,
Like
buddy.
multiple
That's good
times.
enough.
It is my pre-workout calm. I don't even listen to music on the way to train anymore.
I usually, if depending on, well, I'd say pretty much all the time I'm listening to podcasts on
Yeah,
the way to the
I
gym.
don't-
I could be better about that, especially as a coach, to be honest with you. But
It's
I tend
kind
to
of
be
just,
preoccupied a little bit.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of just like a mind clearer.
Yes.
Like,
It gets my brain off of what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
Because I still, look, I've been with Ron, almost 3 years? Over 3 years. This October will be 4 years. I still get training anxiety.
mm,
I'll be
Yeah.
fine. As soon as I walk through the doors down there, I'm falling apart like a crazy idiot. I mean, my heart rate goes crazy and dizzy, and about halfway through warm-ups, and I'm pulling myself together.
right.
But yeah, this helps. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thank you for listening to us. That's the show, guys. Bye, y'all. Have to do the bye.